in life, health, if you have a transaction, if you have dealt with people and you're just a little unhappy, or maybe you just want to give kudos, whatever it is, you want to pass along advice, or you want to get direct help, give us a call. We have recovered hundreds of millions of dollars over the years in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We have a lot to talk about today. Today we talk about real estate and finance. Ideal Home Loans is here along with Frank Duran, the real estate man, and Stephanie Thomas in the Colorado Springs area. This hour brought to you by Absolute Radon Safety for absolute peace of mind. Speaking of real estate, you know, many real estate deals can be killed from little things like inspections, and one of them is radon. Some people don't give a damn about radon. Other people think it's a major deal. But whatever it is, that's what I mean. Absolute Radon Safety, what they do is take the mystery out of it and give you peace of mind, because if you have high numbers and you're unhappy with them, you might think, oh my God, thousands and thousands of dollars, what am I going to do? Or this house I shouldn't buy, or how am I going to sell it? Absolute Radon Safety can mitigate 90% of the time for about $899. And if it's a special case with tiny crawl spaces and different things, it's a few $100 more. But that's it, really. Most solutions under $1,000. And they start testing at just $20. Give them a call. They're experts. Absolute Radon Safety, 303-880-0682. Colorado, among one of the worst states around, 303-880-0682. And I want you to call with any problems, questions, complaints, 303-713-TALK. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube. You can also call 303-MARTINO 24/7 for help. Leave a message. We'll get back to you, or it'll come right here to the studio. How many deals, guys, are in jeopardy because of inspections or because of radon, things like that? It happens, doesn't it, Frank Duran, the real estate man? Doesn't it happen?
It sure does. I think it's just preparing your client, and you'll have less fallout that way if they're prepared ahead of time.
Yeah, and also, I found if you can put a number on a problem, it's no longer a problem. It's not insurmountable. It's where people have this unknown. For example, I had an inspection come back one time on a house I was looking at. The stucco is bad. Oh my God, what do you think of? You got to strip the whole house. You have to do everything over. Oh, how could I do it? What did they mean the stucco was bad? They meant that along the bottom edge it had to be sealed. That's it. What they meant was it had problems and it could rot, but it wasn't rotting. You see, I think home inspectors should also talk about mitigation. Now, they shouldn't have a company, but they should say, look, here are the problems. And they should say, this is going to take this or this will take that. Don't you think? Because I think, and Stephanie, you can chime in, don't you think it's the unknown that scares people away from a real estate deal?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People think it's way bigger most times than it actually
now,
is.
If you could put a number on it, every single problem can be handled for $8,000. There's a number on it. Now it's no longer a boogeyman. 303-713-8255. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Have you ever had people apply for a loan and then back out or say, you know, we're not going to close because of some stupid reason? And you're thinking to yourself, of course, you don't give real estate advice, but are you thinking to yourself, hey, man, this could be done. This is not a big deal. Have you seen deals fall apart?
Yeah, we definitely. And certainly when you talk about inspection items, we see it on our side all the time, too, where it's, you know, people think it's going to cost significantly more than it is, and it's more just a conversation. And
do you guys care? As a financer, you're taking the home as collateral. Where do you get? Don't you guys, as underwriters, because you are an underwriter, a direct mortgage lender, you do loan your own money. Of course, you may place it later on, but do you care about the home inspection?
You know, we typically don't get into issues unless there are significant issues with safety on FHA. We'll run into problems, but we try to let that get worked out among both the parties. Now, if the appraiser notates it while they're out there, then we're going to have an issue. We're going to have to address it.
If it affects value.
Yeah, if it affects value, if it affects safety, if it's structural, we're going to have to address it.
Have you ever, like, for example, needed a roof replaced before you would do it?
Yeah, we have. Yes, we have had that happen on FHA loans before, where they're going to have the roof replaced.
What about on a private loan? You wouldn't get involved in that?
You know, on a conventional loan, we may, depending on how obvious it is and how significant it is. So it's really, we look to the appraiser to notate that, and if we can see deferred maintenance, stuff that needs to get handled in the pictures and the photos of the appraisal, we're going to have to address it because an underwriter is going to flag it.
303-713-TALK. Okay, folks, Give us a call with any problems, questions, or complaints. Kay, what's happening with you? Hello, Kay.
Good morning.
What's new? What can I do for you?
Well, I have a landscaping problem here.
Oh, God, we're going to be hearing these. We're going to be hearing these from here on out, and I'm going to tell you why. Right now, we should have a landscaping show. We really should, because landscaping this time of year surpasses all other complaints. But tell us what your problem is.
Well, this individual, I found him through HomeU on the Internet, because the previous people that had been working for me have gone out of business, and I needed to have a new person. So that's how I got this. Well,
you could have gone to referrallist.com. I'm just going to say this up front, because I will tell you we have excellent landscapers. So what happened, whatever this for you with this, what's the name of the landscaper? It's a very weird name.
It is. His name is Basim Sawajid.
Okay, so Basim Sawajid, what happened?
Well, he came to my home, and he had a contract with him, and we wrote out the contract, except that he was supposed to give me a copy of the contract, and he did not do that. He has not since he started work.
Well, why did you let him start? Why did you give him money?
I did.
Why would you give someone money without a contract?
Well, I did have a contract signed, but...
Oh, hold on. I thought you said you were asking for a contract.
No, I did have a signed contract. He was supposed to go and make a copy of it and bring it with him on the day that he began his work.
So you signed a contract,
and
you never got a copy.
And so... he has a couple of companies that he does work with.
What's to keep him from changing it? Unless it's just absolute honesty. He can change any term or condition, and you won't. Or he can say we don't have a contract.
That's right, and that's why I.
Is that the only problem, or is it the work right now? What's the problem? Why are you calling me?
Well, because there is supposed to be some more money that is supposed to be paid, and he hasn't given me the contract. And he got the wrong kind of product, a defective product from a landscape. So
what is he doing for you? Or better yet, what is that list doing that you got? Did you call them and say, hey, we got it from you, can you help us?
The list?
Well, you said you got it from, you said you got it from, what was that list you found him on?
Oh, HomeU.
Why don't you call HomeU and ask them to help you? Maybe they would.
I already have.
What did they say to you?
They told me that I needed to get some kind of legal advice, and they wished me good luck.
Oh, isn't that nice? Okay, listen. For the record, and you know what? And I just want to say this, Kate, we're going to help you. But I am saying this straight out because I am sick and tired of this. People, if you had gone... I'm going to step right up and say, if you had gone to referrallist.com, and anyone listening, this would not have happened. It's paid advertising, yes, but it's the only paid advertising. It's the only one with a name behind it and a reputation and hundreds of millions of dollars collected for consumers and people on the list who take care of people on the list, and I will tell you, you would not have had this problem. If you had Mr. Green Jeans, for example, just one of our landscapers, it would not have happened. Here's the deal. We will help you, but it's going to be difficult because you did some things wrong too. Now, what we need is to call this Basim Sawajid and see what's going on. Okay? So,
all right, I need to interject something.
Okay, go ahead.
About the defective
product. What is it?
That he did with some bark from a landscaping company. I had asked him to buy bark that was new bark in the bag.
Why do you care?
Pardon me?
Why do you care, though?
Generally, it's in bulk if it's alive.
What do you care about it, where he got the bark?
Why do I care about it? Because the bark that is from landscape companies in a big pile in the middle of their area that they own.
Mold?
Is absolutely bad stuff.
Why?
Because it's mixed with all kinds of refuse and dirt. And
I know you wanted that clean stuff in a bag. That would have been quite a bit more expensive. But here's the deal. Do you have a phone number for Basim Sawajid?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I like saying that name. That's why I'm saying it.
Basim Sawajid.
Hold on a second. Suzanne, can we... let's see. Our deputies are short supply right now. We're going to get on this. Okay? We're going to get on this. You know another thing, people? I would... Now, you think of being paranoid? This is what I would do if I did not know who I was dealing with. I don't have to worry about it on referrallist.com. But if people want money down, first of all, you don't wait for them to get you a copy of the contract. You make a copy and sign both of them right there. Number 2, get a copy of their driver's license for skip tracing. If someone won't give you a copy of their driver's license, go to hell. I am tired of rip-offs, people. Do you know we get this every day? Would you please tap someone on the side and said, for 38 years, Tom Martino has been on the radio bragging about his referral list, and if it was bad, he wouldn't have lasted this long. Forget about the Johnny-come-newlies, please, and go to someone you can trust and avoid these problems. Of course, these problems keep us in business, so I guess both ways I have it made, but I don't like it. Please do something to prevent these problems. You know, God, it's just, do you realize I don't make a dime more or a dime less if you use that list? These people advertise all over the place, not just with me, but they're the good people. So they advertise all over the place. Whether you use that list or not does not affect their advertising. So by you going to the referral list, it's not making me more money. It's not doing anything. I don't get a dime from what they make on there. They literally pay a few $100 a month. That's it. Just because we spend most of our time taking care of consumers, and that's how we do it, with sponsors. So there's no mystery to what I do. We assemble good guys to help people and go after bad guys. Go to sleazbrigade.com if you want to look at some of the worst, and I still have to add some people there. In fact, just yesterday, I was reminded of that. Mark your calendars for April 11th. You want to talk about other ripoffs? Okay. Most people doing stem cell therapy are ripping you off. And we decided we're going to have our own seminar, April 11th, with Centeno Schultz, the good guys. The guys, the doctors and nurses, the MDs, the orthopeds who know what they're doing. And we're going to do this on April 11th. And we invite you to be there. Now, of course, if you need stem cell therapy, simply go to Centeno Schultz for stem cell therapy. But if you want all of your questions answered, mark your calendars, April 11th, 6:30. That's in the evening, in honor of 6:30 KHOW. It's 6:30 in the evening, April 11th, at the Denver Marriott. We'll have questions and answers. We'll have everything you want to know about, everything about stem cell therapy. And we're going to name names when it comes to ripoffs. Here's where you register, 303-429-6448. 303-429-6448. If you have any questions about it, give me a call, too, on the show. We have more coming up.
This report is brought to you by David Weekly Homes.
The highway
People get money and people don't do the right job. They run away. Home U. Who the hell is Home U? Everywhere you look, there's a list. It's Home University. Huh? It's Home University. It is, I think. Screw these people.
No, it's not Home University. Well, that's the thing. You just don't get, when you're dealing with a contractor, once you've given them the money, you have no leverage. Zero. You're done. It's just, you can't, you know. We're getting our basement done right now. It's going to be done next week. And at home, I said, we're not getting that final third until this thing is perfect. My wife is happy. Yeah, it's our old basement. That's cool. So, yeah, it's like, not, no money. Don't even ask. Until she says, yep, we're good. Until she gives you her blessing. I'm right. She says it's good, then I'll write you a check. That's all right. You with a slap. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So,
that would be better because then
well, you know what's funny? I certainly can be challenging if I want to be, but I find it's a lot easier to use my wife to. Like, you don't want to deal with my wife. She'll scream and yell. She'll get crazy on me. She'll get on social media.
I watched her video, man. She's
make her ass bored off.
No, I watched it last night. I don't know if they took it down or not. It's showing her
It works out great.
sit-ups, and she's just a nut, man.
It's beautiful work, wholesale granite.
So it wasn't a lover's spat, it was she was against YouTube.
She was making some money off YouTube videos. No, not at all. And then they did something, I guess. So she went in there and started shooting the joint up, man. Look how angry she looks. The shooter at YouTube.
Oh my God, did you hear her?
I watched her video. She's a nut, man.
Are the videos still up?
I don't know. Dan doesn't think so.
Well, I thought they said in their thing that they pulled them down. So.
I watched it last night.
They took down my videos that were getting many hits.
Yeah.
Why did she think that? You know how many people want to be a YouTube star? And you know how many people become a YouTube star? Less than 1%.
Oh, wait, 1%? Come on. 0.00001%.
Some of them I don't understand. Some of these YouTube stars, I mean, it almost makes me want to go shoot them. No, I'm just kidding. But
we could probably turn Clint into a YouTube star. We should really just put a camera that follows him everywhere, talking to everybody. Like a selfie cam like this.
You know, I'm looking here at Stephanie over here, and then I'm looking in there at Mikey, and I'm thinking, what the hell does she see in him?
Okay, so I'm having fun with a creepy buyer that apparently is a national creepy buyer. He's reached out to me once.
What do you mean national?
I got a
I've got boss team wanting to come on.
Oh, good.
I'll show you. I'll send you this, or I'll show you this.
Well, what
He's I don't know. He's contacting a lot of.
Real buyer?
I don't know. He's contacting female agents. They've just put out some safety warnings, and he's contacted me. So I'm dealing with some stuff on my side. I saw an article yesterday. He called me about a week ago, and his voice was
You
creepy.
just happened to see it. Now, what do you normally do about showing Stephanie? You're in an empty home with a guy. Seriously.
Well, I have.
You pack, don't you?
Yes. I have. I'm getting my DCW, but yeah, I have pepper spray on me all the time. Or I'll make Michael go sit and set out.
But when you meet people,
like a pimp,
you do have to size them up.
Absolutely. I didn't take this gentleman out. He told me he was planning to come out in the future. But I just gave Frank and Brent the email and the guy's contact.
Hilarious.
I'm dealing, like I said, with the police.
Back when I was a pimp, I'd have to wait outside. I was the muscle.
Did the strong arm, we get the little shakedown.
It's just how
Shakedown.
that's
You're not going to pay?
Hung around with the bookies. They know how to shake people down for money.
True. That's what I do on the weekends. On weekends, I was a bookie, football, and during the week, a pimp.
Look at Inman, any other real
Always shaking people down for money.
Art of Granite again, and
Real major shakedown. Give me the money, I don't want to shake
even
you
though
down.
you haven't gotten anything, I've been working on segments.
Anyway, the other.
The way you're recording them now is great, by the way. I don't know what you're doing.
No, I was going to say the other agents are being anonymous.
Hi, Art of Granite. Mitch Floria. If you want to save money in real estate, if you want to save money when you buy a new home, okay, you can call Art of Granite and get prices on the phone. Imagine that. How many places can give prices on the phone? Art of Granite will do that. You give them some measurements, send them some photos, and Art of Granite will give you a price that's pretty dang close, within a few $100. And if you like it, you go to the showroom in Golden, where you pick out your wholesale countertop material. He sells it all at wholesale to you. Custom edges, sinks, and cabinets direct from the manufacturer if you want them for a small markup. He's a direct granite, quartz, and stone importer. And prices on the phone. Plus, you get a great kitchen, and the bathroom is free when you have the kitchen done. Also, he tears out and haulaways free of charge. And all you have to do is start it with a phone call, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919. And he serves the entire mountain communities as well as the Front Range. and open 6 days a week, closed on Sunday, 303-386-5919. Now, we talked about landscaping. Kay said she called Home U and got a landscaper. She could not get a copy of her contract. I think that's her fault. That she didn't insist on one or didn't make a copy before she signed it and gave over money. She said she paid money up front, and she said that Basim Sawajid is not doing the job correctly. She said she doesn't like the work. So Kay, he is willing to come on, and we always like when a business is willing to come on, it tells us something. It tells us they're not running and hiding. They have something to say. So I want to make very clear right now, before I get him up here, what do you want?
I would like to have a copy of my contract.
And what else?
I would like him to take out the ugly stuff that he got at the landscape company and replace it with the bark that I had asked him to buy to begin with at Home Depot. And I don't want to be charged any extra amount of money for the
So the only thing you're finding wrong with the work right now is the bark.
That's the biggest part of it,
And
yes.
Tom, what she told me, to be fair to Basim, is that she just wanted new bark instead of old bark. I assumed I thought she meant it was old as in used bark. So.
Well, no, she meant bark. For some reason, she does not like the bulk bark. She thinks bulk bark is filled with dirty stuff and worms and all that, and she wants clean, new bark. I personally don't think it's an issue. Kay, however, claims she specified it. Okay, but she doesn't have a contract to prove that, so let's go to Basim. And I'm not going to belittle Kay's desire if that's what they talked about. Basim, can you shed some light on this?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. Did she ask for new bark in a bag?
No.
Oh, my God.
Hold on now, Kay. Let him talk. Basim, so you think bark is bark is bark. And most of us do, by the way. Kay, I'm not siding with this guy. I'm just saying that really I don't see a big difference. Once you hose it down, you know, any dust or dirt that's on there is going to go into the soil.
Let me stop you here for just a
Go
second,
ahead,
please.
Basim. Your turn.
I got a text message from Mary Kay and told me, what's your next step? Because she called Pioneer Landscaping Supplier. That's my supplier. And they told her, we cannot do nothing because bark by the bulk, it's not like bark in the bag. I understand maybe some dirt in there because by the scope, they scope it and dump it in my truck. And I promised her, I told her, I'll be back. And
all you have to do is wet it down. Just wipe it.
Tom, that's not true.
But Kay, if you wet down that bark, it'll be fine. Then the sun gets to it. Truly, Kay, I think you're making. If the only problem. Now I know you want the contract. We'll address that. But if the only workmanship problem is the bark, I don't think really it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, Mr. Martino, because about half of my yard consists of beds that have bark in it, and the visual impression of those beds is very important.
And you think there's a big difference once you put that other bark down from a bag, you think it's going to get dirty anyway. I mean, you really believe that it will be noticeably different?
It will be noticeably different. I've been doing this, Mr. Martino, for 25 years now.
God, you sound so angry.
The bark is because of the difference that there is. If you pick up any of these pieces of this bark,
yes,
it's like a fourth grade teacher.
No, hold on, Kay, hold on. If you pick it up, then what? I'm listening. By the way,
pick this up and look at it. There is clearly something that is on the bark, and I'm not sure what it is. I asked the people out at the company yesterday, where in the world do you get this bark that is so dirty and awful looking? She said it got shipped to us from North Dakota.
But why does that matter? Because of the looks. Is that it? It comes down to the looks, right?
That's right. It's the visual of it.
Okay, here's what I want to know, Basim. Let's get right to it. That's her main concern, by the way. Did you put that in the contract, Kay, new bark?
Yes.
No, I don't. Well, I can't remember exactly if it said new bark, but we did discuss new bark, that's what I wanted, and I cannot remember the specifics of what was on the contract.
Basim, what do you recall?
Didn't give me my copy
hold
of
on,
the contract.
Hold on, Kay. What do you recall, Basim, about the contract or about the discussion on bark?
Okay. I'd be more than happy to get back to her sometimes next week to her house, and I myself, with my own crews, do the job twice with no extra charge. Go there, screen the bark, buy a big old screener, put it on the top, and reinstall the big bark only, not put down any smaller pieces came with the bark.
No, this is
no, wait.
crazy
He's
situation.
willing to screen it and clean it and reinstall the big pieces. You wouldn't be happy with that?
Mr. Martino.
God, what are you doing? Nothing's going to make her happy.
Okay, hold on. Basim, what about a copy of the contract? Can you get her one?
I have it. Yes.
She wants a copy
in my binder.
She wants a copy of her contract.
I will be more than happy. Even I'm super busy right now to stop by her house, leave my job site, and give her a copy of the contract.
All right, hold on a second.
Send her a text message, or send her a text message of copy of the contract.
I think in this case I'm siding with Basim. I think that you should have given her a copy of the contract, by the way, right from the beginning.
Next day, but I forgot we got busy.
But this thing about bark, I know she's mad at me right now because she wanted help and she wants this new bark, but I don't. Just so people know, Basim is not on my referral list. So if he was, I'd be saying the same thing, and people would be saying, you're just siding with your referral list. And I'm not. I am saying I don't see this as a consumer problem. Do you, Mark?
No, I don't, right. Mr. Martino.
Okay, Deputy Clint is on the phone. Deputy, you heard this. What do you have to say?
Hey, Tom, I have a phone number in here, and I don't remember the name of it, but the landscape company I called them to ask them what the difference was. They said they bag it out of the same pile of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
Pioneer's a big company, man.
Basim, get her a copy of her contract. I can't pursue this, Kay. You may want to go to small claims court and have a judge tell you the same thing. I have to call it. Look, we give our opinions here, okay? We're not a public agency. We're a private agency. We're not going to take this problem on. We're just not going to take this problem on. That's it. Okay? Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center is announcing a grand opening. Now, they've been open for years and years and years. They've supplied me with my hearing aids. And they also help with tinnitus. But they have a new location, so it's a re-grand opening. 3601 South Clarkson Street. It's in Suite 220. That's Clarkson and Hamden. And in honor of this new re-grand opening and celebration, they're giving $500 off a pair of hearing aids. They also have devices to help with tinnitus, and they also have devices that do both. To find out more, give them a call, stop by, and remember this, you always get free test drives of the equipment to make sure they're right for you. 303-534-0163. That's Clarkson and Hamden, Suite 220. That's 3601 South Clarkson. 303-534-0163.
I mean, she sounded so mad.
We get new vulture bark every year from Pioneer to have it delivered, and we do all of our stuff, and it looks so much better than the stuff you buy at Home Depot. It's not even a contest.
And it's going to be half the price.
Oh, for sure.
To bag it and ship it to a Walmart?
Oh, there's no way.
What's wrong? You know, when you wake up and there's no heat,
and here's Tom loving her.
In your furnace, that happens.
Tom wants to make her happy.
No, I said I'm not taking it on, didn't I?
They'll tell you what's wrong. God, she was so mad. She sounded more upset than people that called up that have had their kids taken away by the state. That's how mad she sounded.
Well, the poor guy's like, I'll come out there with a
Sounded
screen.
pretty legit, but my Adams County economics crime investigator called me. He's like, because he was listening in his car, he's like, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this guy before. So, but he sounded pretty legit. I mean,
well, it's a pretty common name.
Basim, what is it? Sagawed?
Basim
Sawajed.
Sawajed.
What's his email?
It's either Sawajed or Sawajed.
One of the two.
Well, Sawajed would not have any accent, so Sawajed would be, it's Sawajed or Sawajed or Sawajed.
I would have loved to have been in Pioneer when she showed up screaming and yelling what's in and stuff.
Did she say she went there?
Yeah, oh, I went down to the Pioneer and I was like, oh boy.
I couldn't believe he's gonna go over there, dig it all up, screen it, get rid of the little stuff and put it back,
right.
And she's not happy.
Right. I mean, that's
It's going above and beyond. I would agree with you.
Oh, it's crazy.
I can only listen. I've been to the Pioneer by my house many, many times, and I can't even imagine what those guys said. They were probably like, "What? No, get out of here.
Get out of here, yo.
We're good.
what's wrong with you?
We're gonna pick your car up with that loader and drag it out of here."
It's all used.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
No two loans are the same. They will write that loan best for you. In other words, if you want a loan that's...
Frank, would you disclose that on a contract that the bark is not in bags prior to being put down?
In the interest of full disclosure, we have not used bagged bark on this property.
This is actual bag bark. Not to be confused.
The bag stuff's all the weird colored stuff too, like the red, and then you're like, I don't know about that.
And then the next year you're like, oh, I hope it matches.
Yeah, right.
You know, I wonder if they make a good synthetic, although the problem is it would cost so much.
You know, one of my neighbors, because we get wind, he put the rubber stuff down, and it looked okay for about 4 months, and then you're like, looks like you got pieces of rubber laying around in your yard.
Does it look like bark originally?
Yeah, originally, and then it just gets it gets faded pretty quick.
I like lava rock. Lava rock looks good.
Back in the landscaping days, I always tried to sell them on the lava rock. It's easier to move. You get some lava rock, it's simple to move, guys don't mind it, it's cheap. I took a lot of lava rock out there too.
There's a company that I got to get bark done here soon. We got a lot of it, but they come in with the truck and blow it in.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. If you're ordering enough.
Yeah.
They literally come in and blow
So that's
it
what we were right across. We're at Santa Fe and Town Center, and Pioneers is right down the street. So they'll load it up in a truck and run it over. Yeah, no, we bought a bunch. We did our whole yard when we moved in ourselves. I got a bid on it. I was like, forget it, because I'd landscaped in the summertime in college. I ran crews. I finally started going through the thing, and I told my wife, like, that's it. We're just going to do this ourselves. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yep, I can't bear it anymore. We're just going to do it.
I got a great water feature guy if you ever need one.
Do you? Yeah, that's the one thing. Like walls and water features.
This guy,
I can do the rest of it.
he brought in his crew. He finished up in one day. Huge feature for us.
Yeah.
Although he's one of these guys, though, he came out and gave me a bid through the company he works for. You know, he gave me a bid for like 15, 16 grand. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll think about it. He read me right. Came back about 3 hours later. 7 grand, could have it done the next day. Cash. But it was, I said, that's fine. I said, I'll do it. And I'll do it tomorrow. You're not getting a nickel until it's done, brother.
It's funny, though. It's like we're getting our basement done right now. And they had a bid on the flooring and everything else. I said, pull the flooring out. I got a guy. I'll just pay him myself and take care of it. And it saved me 11 grand.
On the flooring.
On the flooring.
Yeah, I know.
So,
What saved you 11 grand?
we're getting our basement done. Right. And so we got a bid from the contractor. And he's like, all right, here's the bid for the flooring. I said, pull the flooring. I'll do the flooring myself. I got a guy who will do it. Save me $11,000 just having my guy do it. So same type of deal. Just write you a check for each job. So yeah. Yeah, they mark all that stuff up.
Oh, landscaping too. Their labor's so cheap. Hi, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. John Fuller is a personal injury expert. He's an attorney. I've known John for many years now. And one thing I can tell you, if you get injured and you want straight information, don't go to these hawkers that are on TV giving themselves nicknames like the big bull crapper and the strong ass. Go to people who practice law, not flapping their lips. John Fuller is such a man. He will give you all of his attention, and he doesn't have an army of 100 attorneys he has to keep fed. He has himself and his legal team of paralegals and professionals. and he will help you directly. 303-597-4500. Any questions? Consultations are complimentary. If he takes the case, he only takes a percentage of what he collects. 303-597-4500. PersonalInjuryCO.com is the website. So, we have an update here. Preferred
This is going to set Mark off.
Uh-oh. Now, Sam called, and I think Mark took the call, and it was a roofing company. Is that right, Sam?
Yes, Tom.
And
yes, Tom.
And you had given him, again, $7,000 up front. We hear this all the time. People who are not using the referral list, they get a knock on the door, or they just call at random. You got this guy. Did you get a contract from him?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what happened?
It wasn't a good contract, though.
Okay. So, did he do any work at all?
No, Tom. He never did any work.
He did nothing. This went down in September. It's been 5-6 months. It's a bad deal.
He said he would give the money back to you, Mark. He was on the air. He came on the air.
No, he didn't come on the air. This little snake wouldn't come on the air. I talked to him off the air, and the snake told me basically that this guy was trying to cheat the insurance company. You've heard roofers do this before. Oh, he's trying to defraud the insurance company, and of course this guy wasn't whatsoever.
So it doesn't matter, by the way, if you took money and you did not put it in trust for the job, you're in violation of the Colorado Contractors Trust Act.
So he calls after I talked to him after the show off air. I finally got so frustrated with the roofer. I said, you know what, I'm just going to go after you like a pit bull, buddy. So if you want to come on the air tomorrow, you're more than welcome. He calls this guy the next day, apologizes, admits that he shouldn't have kept the money, but didn't return it. Said, oh, it's going to take me 7 days.
What is he saying now, Sam?
I haven't heard from him. I left him a message Monday morning.
Tom, I just tried his numbers. One is busy, one's disconnected, and I'm pretty sure the number I spoke to him on last week is the number he disconnected.
Yeah, he's a snake. In my opinion, this guy's a snake, and I knew it last week.
What is his name, Sam? We need his name.
Snake.
Lance Slayton.
Lance Slayton. Again, we need. This is another one for the referral list. Slayton.
No, this is not for the referral list.
I mean, excuse me, for the sleaze brigade. And a reason to use the referral list. That's right, Mark. Thank you. Lance Slayton, and it's called Preferred Companies.
Yeah, what a name, too. Preferred.
Preferred Companies. How did you find them?
Well, Mark found the story interesting, too. I did go to the referral list, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
No, tell me the story.
It's crazy.
It's good.
You went to the referral list. What happened?
And I called Roofworks, and they sent a guy out who ended up offering me a deal with another company.
Okay.
Their salesperson.
Hold on. Wait. Did he offer it with this company? Did he get you this job?
Yes. It gets better, though.
Hold on. That guy that came out from the
Roofworks.
From Roofworks.
Yeah.
Did you, Mark, did you tell Roofworks?
Yes, of course. And they fired him that day.
Holy crap.
They had no idea. In fact, they were so upset they lost the job because of this.
He was sending people. But didn't that seem suspicious to you, Sam?
We've been through this. Sam knew he was trying to save a buck. I don't even want to get into that part. That's got nothing to do with this guy keeping his $7,000.
No, I understand that. There's no reason to keep the money. But it's so
he offered him he basically said, hey, I represent Roofworks, but these other guys, you know, you'll be able to put a few bucks in your pocket. Whatever it was.
Hey, listen, we've had people in the past from plumbing and heating companies that go out to houses and say, look, you want me to do this on my own time? Or you want, and that is strictly forbidden. So we ought to put out a general warning on that. I mean, if you get, this sucks, man.
Oh, it sucked for our referral list member especially. They lost that job. This guy lost $7,000. They fired the salesman. Now this deadbeat snake in the grass is gone.
Man, we got to go after this guy.
Hey, no, he's Sleaze Brigade big time.
Oh, for sure. Do we have a photograph of him?
I might have tracked one down. I'm going to email Sam the pictures to confirm.
I think we need to get his information and do a background check with...
Firstborn.
I'm sure that they have his social and all of that. We need to track this guy down. Sam...
is Roofworks working with you now, though, to make this better? What are they doing?
Bart was supposed to contact me this week. Haven't heard anything yet, but
yeah, well, they better do something because you know they're not totally. I just have to say this.
Yeah,
they are not totally blameless here. I mean, this guy called the referral list, and they sent out a scumbag. I mean, don't you think that do you think XL Roofing, don't you think they screen their people? Now, RoofWorks, I'm not blaming you completely. I'm not. You're a victim of fraud. But come on, man. You sent them out. You sent it out there. If anything, you should make a follow-up call.
Well, my idea is they were, well, not my idea. What I understood was they were going to be out there doing something.
But you know, call back RoofWorks, Sam, because I think they would have some responsibility, possibly legal responsibility, and if you don't get some reaction, let me know. Now, here's the deal, man. I mean, and here's another thing that does piss me off a little. Sam and this other guy were screwing RoofWorks.
Well, of course, but here's what really gets me. This is one of those cases that the guy said he was going to pay. I knew he wasn't going to pay, but what do you do? In fact, when I was doing the show that day, I pulled 2 microphones up and I played you on one side and me on the other. I just knew this scumbag was not going to pay this guy back. Meantime, he's killed his line and maybe took off.
And my side of the microphone said, what harm is there in waiting to see if he does?
And that's my only point, though. The harm is actually this. Now the numbers are disconnected. The guy's in.
We wouldn't have been. It's not like we'd be able to lock him up. Or
no, I know. It just sucks.
If there's a possibility someone return money, you know, what's the harm in waiting?
Don't pay a cent till you're content.
Or pay with the right system when the materials are delivered, or
credit card.
You know, there are ways. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying you never pay a down payment. I've never said that. You can do it when work begins. You can do it when materials are delivered. You can do it by credit card. There are certain ways you can protect yourself. All right, Steve, I noticed you were on there. I'm sorry I didn't take you sooner. What's going on, Steve?
I've had a couple of calls with excuse me, with Century RV.
Yes, Mark just did business with them.
We're looking to find a manufacturer that is maybe better than others to retrofit for handicap accessible RV.
Okay, hold on a sec. Just hold on and we'll talk about this, all right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I just got word that Fix It 24/7 is going to do 10 more specials at $39 to clean, check, and adjust your furnace. This is or your air conditioner. Now, it's your choice. You can right now get the air conditioning done instead of the furnace, whatever you want. But if you have equipment, it's like having it reconditioned. They take it apart to the extent they can. They do all the adjustments necessary, no extra charge, and they also clean it. Dirt is the #1 enemy of all this stuff. They check all the pressures, all the systems. They will let you know exactly the condition of this thing. But most of the time, there is no problem. You get a reconditioned, beautiful furnace or air conditioner for just $39.95, and this is a reduced price. I promise you, you won't find as much work done by anyone anywhere. 720-526-3939. Just 10 people. If you have any questions about your system, get it gone through for $39. 720-526-3939.
Custom RV? Is there a better?
Customize it for handicap accessible.
God, that would be so difficult. Retro. I wonder if we should get someone on.
I don't know who would do that. Would Ray talk about it? Yeah, tell her to try Ray.
Can you try Ray to see if he has any recommendations on which RVs would be more accessible to do it? Or he's not asking the factory to do it.
I'm just thinking how you even. The ramp, the door would have to be bigger. You'd have to have a ramp. It would be tough.
Can you get Ray from Century RV just in case he has any ideas on handicap? He wants to retrofit an RV for handicap.
Now, head into Firestone Complete Auto Care.
There's a place called New Something. I don't even know if they do that.
Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Century RV, Ray.
It's so costly.
Yeah, talk to Ray, the guys you've been dealing with, and ask him if he can help us out. Does he have any ideas on what RVs would be easier to retrofit for a wheelchair or handicapped accessible, or if they can do it? Do you have Ray's number?
Yeah.
He'll IM you.
Interest Mortgage has been your personal mortgage broker serving Coloradans since 2001. Take aim if you're tired of being forgotten, disrespected, and not listened to.
Newmar?
Sir?
Newmar is so beautiful, by the way. Are you looking at Newmar?
Well, I'm looking at your garden.
The reception. We get leads every day on Zillow. So what will happen is it's not going to work out, but we get leads as soon as they get to the tile. We might jump on the lead. We don't live in time or whatever.
You're right.
So here's what I was thinking.
You ready? 720-459-2688.
Without changing their spending habits. Call now and start saving big.
Why the hell are they opposed to adding a citizenship question to the census? They ask how many times, they ask if you are married.
It doesn't even matter that. They did it for years. They've only not done it for a little period of time.
Yeah, this Newmar has a wheelchair accessible. His daughter is on my daughter's chair. So I'll talk to Spencer.
I wonder how much you're looking at spending.
Mark, how many
is super high?
I zeroed in on Georgetown. Resale value and then customer complaints.
Rolly's dad had it.
This whole thing is
Georgetown. I think
they've been around a while. They hold their value a little better. Not, I mean, you know.
Are they all gas or do they have any diesels?
Well, Horse River has lots of diesels, but in the Georgetown line.
Okay, this is right.
But trying to get them to understand it. You know, this is
Did he start the Globetrotters?
No, but he's like the most famous.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We checked with Century RV during the break. Hold on one second.
Hold on one second, though. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. If you have crooked teeth and you want straight teeth, you have three choices. You have veneers, which do not straighten teeth but cover them and do not do anything to your jaw. You have, and they cost about 60 grand for a whole mouth, just for the front teeth and what looks, 30 grand. And then you have braces, traditional braces. As an adult, you'll be in them 6 or 7 years because it's longer. And you have the new orthodontics in 2 years with a fraction of the cost of both of those, a fraction. For a few grand, you will get these mouthpieces that gradually expand your palate, straighten your teeth, and align your jaw and cure your sleep apnea and your TMJ all in one. And then Invisalign braces do the finishing touches without extractions and without surgeries at all. The new orthodontics. They also have a program for children that I absolutely love. My kids are doing, all right? So if you want to know more about this, call Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Okay, we talked to Century RV, Steve. So are you looking, first of all, for a fifth wheel, a trailer, or a Class A motorhome, or a Class C?
We're looking at Class A from what I can understand.
Okay.
And what we're looking for is, you know how some of the showers, we want one with a door or a curtain.
Of course.
Not the whole bathroom is the shower.
And you need something you'll be able to get into and wheel through as well if you have a wheelchair.
Well, we do have one, but 9 times out of 10, I only use that on long walks.
Good. So you're able to use a walker or something?
Yes, I use a walker.
Very good. Very good. That makes it easier. So, Suzanne, what did Ray at Century RV say? They have, by the way, a huge selection of RVs. Go ahead.
Well, what he said was the Class A's can definitely be retrofitted, the Class B's, some C's, and then travel trailers can be.
And they do it.
So...
And they do it right there?
Yeah, see, Century RV, that's what I love about them. Not only do they sell new and used, but they have that service facility. And that's at the service facility is at the 119 highway turnoff on I-25. That's north of the city. It's the Longmont turnoff. And then they have to find the actual unit you want to convert, you can go out to the 32,000 square foot showroom on just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, and it's next to Woodley's. Ray is one of the managers there that we deal with. You can tell him that.
I'm sorry, I missed this part. Is he looking for a fifth wheel or a Class A?
No, Class A.
Then he's going to want to go to the 25 one. The other one's mostly fifth wheels and trailers.
Okay. All right. And so here's the number, 303-453-1111. 303-453-1111. And CentryRV.com, they have a lot of inventory up there if you want. Okay, let's keep going. And I want to take people who've been waiting a long time here, and that is John's one of them. Hey, John, what's going on, John?
Hi there, Tom.
Hi, what's happening?
Let me get you off speaker so I can figure out how to do it. Well, maybe I can't.
Actually, you sound good, so go ahead.
Okay, my phone went dark, but it's working.
All right.
I was in a car accident. A woman merged into my lane when I was already there.
Okay.
And it caused kind of a smear effect to the side of the car.
Okay.
And it's a 14-year-old car, and I'm now dealing with the insurance company on her side. And
for the value of your car?
Yes, that's the question. They've made me 2 offers.
Okay.
One is for about $1,800, and it's they give
rather than giving me amounts, are you satisfied with any of the offers?
They seem a little bit low, not horribly low, but a little bit low.
All right, hold on. Most of the time they are. I want to make sure they're taking everything into consideration, like comparables in the actual area, and sales taxes and licensing fees. Hold on, and we'll talk to you.
I grew up in a military family, and that's why it's important to me to remind...
Now in the second and third hour, guys.
People do not like the treatment of the bark collar. On Facebook. Look at Facebook. Only one person. Oh, I don't know.
No, 2 people. 2 people. Well, but come on now. What was I supposed
She got screwed twice. Once by him and once by you.
If you're already in a mortgage, it's no problem.
No, I mean, what am I supposed to do?
I find it absurd. I find it absolutely absurd. So, you're asking the wrong person.
Even though it's called a VA loan,
The guy offered to go over, get rid of the small bark, clean all the bark, and put it back, and that's not good enough. And on the contract...
Make a comment on there, will you? Answer.
I already did.
customize a loan program to fit your needs.
I did make a comment.
303-695-7000.
I said, I agree. Tom is completely off base on this one.
He's barkless.
Tom's been barking at her. Get it? Barking.
This is Denver's Talk Station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KL and iHeart Radio Station, KHOW Denver.
She was angry at YouTube. Lisa Brady.
God, this is the craziest story.
Just holding a briefing about the woman who attacked the
Did she have kids?
California headquarters yesterday.
Probably not. God, I hope not. Here's the thing. I'll tell you the whole problem. She's a vegan. Vegan snap. They haven't had a good meal.
Can you find me a link to her video, Mark, and inside message me? I cannot follow it.
I think everything's off. I think they pulled everything.
Well, I mean, I watched it late last night.
That would be wrong to take a video.
That time of year, you know.
April, May, June, July. End of July, it starts slowing down a little. Yeah.
Oh, July starts slowing down a little bit? Really?
At the end, yeah, early August, yeah. July, early
Like
August.
when school, I always see a kind of a slowdown when everyone gets into school,
Oh, yeah.
and then it'll kind of pick back up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not on YouTube anymore. It's
A big swing on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow down 45 points.
They're kind of a made down. So just wanted to update you.
All right.
It's a very unique situation.
Was it land or was it house? I don't remember.
Here's the thing. They're in a neighborhood kind of like
that's where we are.
but they have a private property in the middle of it, and the house is right next.
Okay.
So they've been there since like inception,
All right.
and it's around it.
Yeah.
We looked out, I talked to appraisers,
Yeah.
talked to lenders by them,
Mm.
and actually they have to have an appraisal to even deem it if they can sell it,
Yeah.
what a value would be, and if it's guaranteed.
I mean, I couldn't even
Because
get through it.
it's so out of the norm for the
Right.
area. I mean, I went out 10 miles.
She made, what, 10 cents on the videos and stuff? I just seen
I don't know how much she made, but it couldn't have been crap. She only had a couple thousand people.
Oh, she said she had 900,000.
Which role was it?
I can't think of the name
I can't think of the name.
It's the
Darryl.
last
Well, that's
one,
not bad.
but I've
You
got
got
it
a
lined up.
million views, 10 cents.
To update
What's
you, I
that,
am keeping in
10,000?
touch.
you
I'd like to.
No, not 10 cents per view, 10 cents.
I know they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be now or in 6 months or whatever, you can find it for them. I know you'll find them at home. Yeah, it's all time.
I mean, I watched it. This is it. This is all from it. At
Well,
one
I went
point,
your
she
last
was
time.
doing.
That's right.
I didn't want to get you sick, so I called in and did the show.
At one point, she was doing crunches
I was so sick that day.
and sit-ups.
That
It's
night,
just
the night
bizarre,
before, I was on
man.
an appointment.
Big
And
accent.
it was, I was in really bad shape. And I remember
No,
leaving, my wife
not a
had
big
to work
accent. I mean, accent, not a big accent.
And they flew a tire. So they're out there in the cold. I'm running down there, and you know when you're already sick, you don't want to be in 10-degree weather. So it was bad. So we got the tire changed, sat in the car, and then we went home. But it was yeah. That was an interesting night. And then I called Suzanne and said, hey, I don't want to get everybody sick, but I'll still come in, but just out of respect, see how Tom and Mark feel. And so that's how I did it from the phone.
No, that's right.
You guys didn't want what I had, trust me.
All right.
Really bad.
We've
I
actually
would.
been really blessed.
It's smart.
We've gotten anything terrible.
Yeah.
We've gotten some smaller things, but,
Good, man.
skated through flu.
Oh yeah. I haven't been sick in a while.
Oh, we had the flu went through our house around Christmas time. That was,
Cool.
It was brutal.
No, we kind of got everyone got a couple days of sneaky and
Yeah.
kind of did for those, but it was like 3 days and
And then you're good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad. Almost everybody really lucky.
The deal in our house is when it gets my wife, we're like, uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah.
The super bug.
Hey Tom, you got about 5 minutes after the show? Just want to talk about some real estate.
Yeah. God, those pictures are slim.
I know, but you know what? I'm careful.
It really sucks.
I've been really careful. I'm watching the expires and for sale by owners, but I only send them to you if I think they're a good fit. If they're old and stuff, I don't even bother because I know what you're looking for. You know what I mean? I try to be careful.
I'm not in a hurry, so.
It doesn't hurt though. I mean, hey, you know, it's timing. You get that right for sale by owner at the right time. They don't have a listing agent. We can make a good deal.
And some of the houses I have seen,
Yeah.
you know, there is a builder that I really like that every time I see one of their models, and I never like builders usually, it's celebrities.
Yeah, build a nice house.
Holy crap, are they nice? And I'm wondering if that's a way to go.
The only thing is they're about 7.5 to 8 months out usually, depending. But okay, if you got time. You know, yeah.
I mean, you get to pick everything. That's right. They have some beautiful, I mean, they really have this house around a courtyard. I cannot freaking believe it. You know, how different, because I'm so tired of houses. And the open staircase with the bridge and the faux finishes and the conference room. I mean, I'm not tired of that stuff, but the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like they have this formula.
It's like Joyce Homes. When they were building back, they built a great house. It was cool. They were really unique layouts, really good courtyards, the whole 9 yards, and they're not building them. But they built some great stuff.
But you notice celebrity is good? Do they pay a car?
You know, I don't know. I haven't worked with celebrity. I don't know.
Can you inquire?
Oh yeah, it's celebrity.
Celebrity. I believe it's a celebrity home. They just blow my mind. I think it is.
Excel now and get a free upgrade to hail-resistant asphalt shingles. Owned and operated for 25 years and on my referral list the whole time. Call today, 303-761.
Only if they're a custom home builder, and they are truly custom, but you don't get to choose the plan. You get to cut. That house is custom, but it's their plans. But their plans are better than anything you can come up with.
I got all the paperwork for that chapel loan from yesterday with the 2 services, mortgage. I wonder if these guys can help with this problem. I'm printing out everything.
Yeah, we're Chapo Group Lender.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. This is the only show, truly, of its kind anywhere, where we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by Centeno Schultz, not only for stem cell therapy, but for PRP and other joint therapy. That's an important thing to mention. Centeno Schultz does more than just stem cell. If you're a candidate for stem cell, then they use it. But there are lower cost options as well, like PRP and other things. We are having a seminar April 11th at 6:30 in the Denver Tech Center. I want you to call if you're interested. And we're going to answer every question you have. Of course, you can always call for a medical evaluation as well. They're doing stem cell every day. They're the first clinic in the entire country to do stem cell therapy in a clinical setting. 303, now the clinic for treatment and for evaluations, 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. If you want to know about the seminar, and I'll be putting this on Facebook. We haven't done that yet, did we, Mark? We haven't put this up yet. On Facebook is 303-4, I'm going to put it on Facebook, but it's at the Denver Marriott, April 11th, 6:30 in the evening. April 11th. 303-429-6448. No cost. We just asked you to reserve a seat. 303-429-6448. Today we're doing lending in real estate, finance, and but my question, did we put that on Facebook, by the way?
No, we have not.
I'm going to do that today. Frank Duran, the real estate man's with us. Stephanie Thomas is with us from Colorado Springs, and she does real estate with Red Bow Realty. Frank is with RE/MAX. And then we have Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. What RE/MAX office, Frank, are you with? Alliance, is it?
RE/MAX Alliance,
yes. Okay. So I want to ask a question. How is inventory now? I'm going to give you price ranges in the up to 250 to 300 range.
It's very scarce, Tom. The sweet spot is really between 3 to 4, but it's very scarce.
There's more stuff between 3 and 4,
yes.
Or is there more lookers at 3 or 4?
It's hotter between 3 and 4. That's the hot point. Anything below 3, it's very scarce.
To find them?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the inventory in the Springs for that price range? Scarce?
Very scarce. Okay. Under 250. I've got less than 100 active right now.
Okay. Now, what about 500 to 700 or 800?
So that's where it slows down.
You have more homes available?
You have more homes available, and you're not getting 15 offers. You're getting maybe 2 or 3 offers.
But you still are getting multiple offers.
You are, depending.
What about $1 million plus? And you know, people might say, "Oh, Tom, who are you talking to?" You will be shocked at how many homes and how many people are looking for $1 million plus homes. Yeah. I don't want to sound like a snob, and I'm not. You just look. You're not getting. What you're getting for $1 million nowadays is what was considered $500,000 to $600,000 a few years ago.
Right.
So, in the $1 million plus range, how many homes? And I don't mean multi-millions, but $1 million to $2 million.
That market's still moving, Tom. But I'll tell you what. But
it is moving.
But I will tell you.
That's shocking to me.
I will tell you this though. I still see expired listings popping up every couple days with higher $1 million plus.
I find houses boring. It's almost as if they all picked a style, and I'm tired of it. The faux finishes, the open staircases, the bridges, balconies. I mean, not that they're not attractive, but they're all doing the same thing. The big cathedral ceilings, Earth coffered ceilings, and I'm just seeing the wraparound decks. I'm not seeing anything different. Anyway, people, do you have any questions on real estate? Give us a call. Okay, on lending, what's the most popular loan range?
We're seeing a lot in that $300,000 to $500,000 range.
And what about in the program? What program?
You know, we're seeing a lot of conventional loans right now. A lot of people putting 20% down, or a lot of people opting for 10% down with mortgage insurance. So
what's the maximum on a normal conventional loan?
$529,000.
And then it goes to jumbo?
And then you jump into jumbo.
Is jumbo difficult to get?
You know, it is. It's. I shouldn't say it's difficult. It's more difficult to get. You know, Fannie recently upped their DTI limits to 50%. Jumbo is still
DTI?
Yeah, debt to income ratio.
Okay.
So your debt to your qualifying ratios is
Then
probably a better way to put it.
What about your FHA limit? What's that?
You know, your FHA limit varies by county, but it's pretty aggressive too. You know, it's up there quite a ways and varies from county to county.
Well, give me the highest.
You're up in the high fours.
Really,
So,
for an
yeah.
FHA?
Yep.
Or a VA?
So, yeah, a VA doesn't have. Here's the great thing about VA: no loan limit on VA. It's all about eligibility
I didn't know that.
of the borrower. Yeah, so you will oftentimes see a veteran who can take advantage of a $700,000 loan,
Wow.
and it's not jumbo priced. It's priced at your normal VA interest rate.
I assume you're hoping Dodd-Frank gets changed quick.
Well, I think, you know, here's where I think Dodd-Frank could get changed. Some of the hoops that we have to have borrowers jump through as we come down the stretch to close a loan really does not do them any favors. It delays things. It creates more expense.
Give me an example.
You know, we've got to send out a loan estimate within a certain amount of time. We have to send out a closing disclosure within a certain amount of time before the closing.
How does that hurt anyone?
Well, because what ends up happening is if they don't go out within a specified amount of days prior to close, then we're sometimes delaying closings if something got missed or something got restructured. So it doesn't necessarily benefit the borrower. We've always been at Ideal Home Loans about full disclosure, give everybody everything in writing up front, guarantee that that's what it's going to be. But we do have instances where, as we're coming down, we had a borrower recently that was put on bed rest. It was pregnant with twins, put on bed rest, and is no longer working. We had to completely change loan programs at the 11th hour. We had to send out a new loan estimate, change the circumstance. We had to delay the closing, and that's a perfect example of something where that regulation didn't necessarily benefit that borrower. Now, we were able to get it done, but it did create some issues at the 11th hour.
All right. John, you had the other party at fault, and your car, give me a description of your vehicle, because you're not agreeing with their evaluation of it, or their evaluation of it, and we're talking about the other insurance companies. So what do you have?
It is an Acura TL.
What year?
2004.
Okay. Now you're gonna, you know, it's going to be way low than you think, because it's 12 years old. How many miles?
165.
Okay. Whenever you have over 100,000 miles and 10 years old, you're going to take huge hits, okay? Now, I don't know what you think it's worth, but as you said, they're not terribly low, but it doesn't matter. Whatever they offer, they're never going to offer what it's worth.
What did you say on mileage?
165.
They hardly ever. I have not seen one time where they come out the first time and offer fair market value ever, unless they can actually show you where you can buy it for the price they're showing you. And if they can, then that's different. And you don't get kudos for, and you don't get extra money for taking care of the car, unfortunately, and the maintenance. So
can you use the Kelley Blue Book?
You can use all of it.
Online services?
You can use all of it, but you need to have more comps than anything. And they have to include sales tax. What are they saying is your settlement price for? Are they totaling it?
They said that the value of repairs, which they didn't specify,
right, will exceed 75%. So what are they offering you? It doesn't matter. What are they offering you? If they're totaling the car, that's all I need to know. What are they offering you?
Two numbers. $1,800 is if they just send me a check and I keep the car, and $3,000 if they take the car.
Yeah,
it's right there, man.
Yep, that's right. Now you might want to goose them for some sales taxes, but that's right about it. How much are you thinking? I wouldn't get it fixed unless you're going to live in that car. You have 165,000 miles. It's 12 years old and in an accident. It's worth nothing after you.
He might get a little more, but it's $4,000 vehicle.
So I would.
The problem I have is finding a replacement car on a very, very short time frame.
That's not their problem, though.
Yeah. The finding the car
back and forth. But what's the difference between the send you a check versus we take the car?
The difference is you take the car or you don't. And if you take the car, what they're saying is and this is where you have to make sure it's fair to you. Can you fix that car? Can you fix the car? They're basically saying if you take $3,000 and you minus $1,800, because you're going to get a check for $1,800, right?
Yes.
They're saying the way the car sits, it's worth $1,200. So can you? That's what they're saying. It's worth $1,200.
And you probably can't get it fixed for $1,200. I mean, man, how many accidents can you get fixed for $1,200?
So why would you spend more than it's worth to get fixed? What will it cost to get fixed?
Well, I took it to one shop, and they said about $2,400.
And it's not going to be worth it, man. Why would you ever invest that much money in that car unless it is just such a gem? You'll be buried in that car. You'll be into it for $4,200, presuming that guy's right.
And if you ever get into another accident, I mean, getting anything out of it's going to be next to nothing because it's salvaged.
Yeah. I strongly advise against fixing that car.
Okay, I appreciate the...
and what I would do is I would take the money, and I would take... Now, do you have good credit?
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem.
And I don't believe... Here's what I think. Yeah, you can always, of course, check out Rockies. They're a great place. But I'm saying if you're looking for new or newer, I would you know, take that money that you get and put it down and buy down a loan substantially and get a newer car, and you have less maintenance and less issues. Now, obviously, no one wants a car payment, but you sound like you're a guy that might keep a car. I don't know. How long have you had this one?
From day one.
See, you're the kind of guy that will benefit from a car that with a good down payment, or possibly even a long-term lease that you buy at the end of the lease.
Here's the other thing. Since he's got good credit, if you can get another vehicle and wait for getting the cash, hold out for like $4,000 from this insurance company. Right. You should be able to get $4,000. Just say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just sue your client if you're not going to pay it.
No, you can sue that client directly in small claims court. And when you initiate that action, that sometimes gets that client to yell and scream at their insurance company. Because I do think you can get more money than that. Yeah, I mean, if you consider sales tax, they're giving you nothing for that car.
Where the insurance companies screw you is most people are hard up for that cash, so they got to take whatever's there.
And you can make the argument as a single owner that you took care of it and it's not the average bear. So I would hold out for at least $4,000 and tell them, or file a small claim, and I mean that, file a small claim against that place, or excuse me, that person, and go for it. 303-713-8255. I mentioned Rockies, and I meant it. They have used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. They have all price ranges. I mean, you know, about, you know, the lowest they're going to have, you know, $5,000 about. They do every once in a while get lower ones in. But no matter what, if you compare apples with apples, you'll find better deals at Rockies, and you should prove it to yourself. Simply shop around and prove it. And you don't have to buy if you shop. They ask that you put them on the list and look at their vast array of cars as well as their variety in financing. Get the deal and compare deals. You'll like Rockies. 63rd and Federal, and Rockies is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, and then Saturday 9 to 6. 303-426-4646.
You didn't see any keys here, car keys. No, that's why. Let's start off with the good guys.
I'd rather lose keys than a wallet.
Remember that cash you lost at one time? You found it.
So, Mark, this is a standard chapel loan. What they do is they take the down payment portion and they file a second deed of trust that has no interest, no APR to it. It's payable upon sale or refinance. So this is a standard chapel. What it is. So they file a deed for the first mortgage, which is typically an FHA loan, and then they file a deed for the second, which is the down payment portion. So that's how chapel works, the Colorado Housing Finance Board.
630 K-How.
I can't even remember the question on that one. So.
I think he was worried, like, hey, well, how come it appears I have two servicers?
No, here's what happened. No, it didn't appear. He's got two different banks, both saying they are servicing the loan. Right. Two of them.
Because Loan Simple originated originally.
Correct.
And then
they're saying they hold it, and they're also saying First Bank, who else? Someone else's. There's two companies literally sending mortgage bills. That's the whole issue.
And who was the company that actually has it, and they don't even know that they have it as of yet?
No, that was the only one that didn't have it.
And they weren't sending it.
That's the deal, though, Brent.
Okay.
He's got two people. So he calls them both up, and both of them say they're investigating. So he called up Chaffa, and they're investigating, and that's where they left it. They don't know who's servicing it.
Yeah, so normally, because they'll swap them out for servicing, so what we tell borrowers is go in chronological order. Who sent you what via first?
Because they're both demanding $4,100 payments from him, and he hasn't even made his March payment. Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah, so, okay, yeah.
Can we help this guy on the air and just talk about it?
So what we've got to figure out, I thought what he was confused on is Chaffa files a second deed, so he's got two deeds filed?
No, he has two loan servicers, both saying they hold the mortgage.
Who was the third one?
Who was the new person at Champion? What's their
Simple Loan Simple.
What's their first name?
What?
Of the email. Who is it?
Of the new contact? It's in there. Just read it.
Loan Simple originated the loan. Loan Simple is the original.
Oh, I see.
So Loan Simple should be able to tell him who's currently servicing it. So like when we sell stuff off for servicing,
He's called Loan Simple, Brent. Just
they won't tell him what's going on.
Who was the third one that they sold to a third person?
Loan Simple.
No, sold to somebody else who sold to somebody else.
I was probably fielding calls.
Okay.
You can ask him.
Okay.
Tom, I've got that Chaffa loan guy back up.
720-895-0500. That's regulated by DOR, NMLS 298191, equal credit.
It is weird. But in the meantime, he
Go
can't afford to, sorry, Frank, he can't afford to make two payments, I don't think. They're $4,100 apiece, but it was due March 1st, so he's getting ready to do. I was like,
Wait, it was due March 1st? Did he pay somebody?
No, he closed it January 4th, and I think his first payment was March 1st.
That's a high payment for you.
I know.
It's a $300,000 Chaffa first lien. I mean, it's a big.
Somebody called yesterday and said to tell the loan servicers to produce the
Chaffa.
What do you call it?
Well, you should have
The
gotten
lien or produce something showing they've produced the deed or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah, this is all the deed filing, so this is all Loan Simple and Chaffa. Loan Simple's got to know this stuff. I mean, like when we sell servicing off, we have to keep a chain of who, if we sold it to, say, Chase, and then Chase sold it to Wells, we get notified.
What did he say that Loan Simple said? Did he say Loan Simple was confused as well on who had it? Loan Simple was confused. So.
Yeah, the problem, so when you do these Chaffa deals with no money down, the interest rates are typically 0.5% higher than your normal FHA loan. So, and then that's no, it's just what Chaffa does. So when you do a Chaffa loan, you're really doing an FHA loan, but you go off of Chaffa's pricing. So, and they ramp it up because they're essentially giving the borrower the down payment in the form of a silent deed of trust that's filed on the property. Okay. So that's only payable upon refinance or sale.
Yeah, they have, Celebrity has heritage shows in Lone Tree.
Hi, Tom Martino here. I hope you never need a fresh start with Wink and Wink bankruptcy attorneys. Truly, it's a devastating thing, and some people can't avoid it with a divorce or a death in the family. Possibly they lost their job. WinkandWink.com, 303-410-1720. WinkandWink.com. Mike and Gigi will walk you through the process if it's 13 or a 7. Again, consult with them first, because if it's not for you, if it's not right, they'll let you know. WinkandWink.com, 303-410-1720. Okay, so what we need to do is Anthony, revisit this from the other day. This is terrible. Anthony closed on a loan. It was a Chaffa loan. He closed on it, and Loan Simple had the loan. They closed the loan. Then you were notified by someone else that they had the loan. Who was it?
DMI.
And then DMI. So, and then they said, hey, we have your loan. This is all before your first payment. And then you were notified by Bank of America, is that right?
U.S. Bank.
Oh, U.S. Bank. So you had 3 people notify you. The first one, of course, Loan Simple, and then I've never heard of them anyway. And then you had DMI, and then you had U.S. Bank. And then when the first payment came around, you get notified from all 3 of them that your payment's due. So now what the heck? Or no, not U.S. Bank. They're not demanding.
What happened was I double-checked with my original loan officer that it was U.S. Bank, and she said, yes, go into U.S. Bank, and they'll have your file. I said, okay. I go into U.S. Bank.
And they don't have your file.
Said, yep. So she said, send it to Loan Simple, and it'll make its way through where it needs to go. Loan Simple got it. They forwarded my check to U.S. Bank via UPS. U.S. Bank sent my check back to me, and
can you
said,
believe this?
We are not your account holder.
So now he doesn't know where to pay, but Loan Simple and DMI are threatening him.
Yeah,
so what do? Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans, he's not part of this mess. Hope he can give you.
Well, the good thing is that you did the right thing by making your payment to Loan Simple. They're the originating lender first off. So, but they absolutely should know where the servicing got sold to or transferred to. DMI, I've never heard of, but that doesn't mean anything either.
Okay, so
what? Your loan officer at U.S. Bank, Anthony, or at Loan Simple, had they heard of this DMI company?
Yes, it's Doven Mule.
Okay, Doven Mule I do know. DMI I don't.
Okay, so now, what about, I told you to go to the title company and have them do an O&E.
Yeah, so the title company shows, what they show right now is the fact that Loan Simple originated the loan. Chaffel was involved because of the silent second that's involved on that. So
who do they show owns the loan?
They show Loan Simple owns the loan, but that's very common. They're
because
the
there's
originator
a delay
of record, and they'll transfer out the servicing. So did you receive anything on all of these? Did you receive something in writing, Anthony, that said, "Hey, we're your new servicer"?
Yeah, he did.
All three of them.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
Yeah. So
I don't know what to make of that. Honestly, I'm kind of
exactly
stumped.
right.
All 3 of them. I've contacted the local
and they're going to
branch
ding his credit.
Simple.
Well, no, they won't. Hang on. Here's
local branch.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go. Keep making payments, okay? That's the one thing. And make a
they
photocopy
keep sending
of
them
it.
back.
That's fine. But he can show the intent that he did.
Everyone's telling me, they said don't make payments, but each company is sending me notices in the mail, and I get 2 phone calls every night between 8 and 9 from each company saying, now, hey,
and what do you say to them when they call?
The first thing I say is check your notes, and the second they go, hold on, you have a file a mile long with us. And they go through and read it, and then they instantly say, we're going to put you through to a supervisor, and the supervisor says, yeah, your account's under investigation. We don't know what the heck's going on with it.
So I don't think they'll ding your credit because
No, I don't think so either. But again, so you made the March payment, and that's the one they returned to you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. As long as you've got a copy of that, and then with your April payment, I would stay on Loan Simple. They should absolutely have record of where this servicing got transferred to and who is responsible for collecting your payments, because oftentimes they'll originate the loan and then they'll sell the servicing off to somebody else. They'll absolutely know who they sold the servicing to because they received a check when they sold that servicing, so they'll know who it went to. But it would be very unusual for it to go to Doven Mule and then right off to U.S. Bank, unless, of course, they do service some of their stuff and they just sold off a servicing portfolio recently. But U.S. Bank would absolutely have a record of that because they would have bought multiple
and they have
transactions.
No record.
Yeah, and if U.S. Bank has no record, I would go back to Loan Simple and Doven Mule.
A letter with my check, and they said, you are not ours.
You keep all this documentation. Yes. You're keeping it, right?
I have every piece of paper. I have every piece of paper. I have the check that's time-stamped of when each place got it.
Okay, perfect.
When it was sent via UPS.
I would deal only then.
My original loan officer even said, she goes, Loan Simple doesn't have your loan. I've talked to corporate supervisors. I've talked to the branch manager in Fort Collins.
Then why are they asking for a payment?
I have no idea.
Well, did you ask that person?
Just the other day, they said, oh, well, we have your loan until April 4th. They go, so you need to pay us for all the dues up till April 4th. And I was like, okay, well, what about Doven Mule, who's saying they've had it since January 22nd.
Well, let them fight it.
Dove and Mule is a sub-servicer, which is likely sub-servicing on behalf of Loan Simple.
Yeah.
So they should be able. Loan Simple should be able to sort that out.
That you don't owe it to them. You owe it to Loan Simple. So deal as far as all the paperwork now. Deal with Loan Simple. Make a record and send it back through to them again.
Yeah.
And make a record of it. Do not send a cashier's check. Do not pay that check. Send a check that you can cancel if you have to. All right? And John says he has another question on his auto insurance. They offered him money. He didn't think it was enough. We told him he needs to negotiate. What is your other question?
Nope, you got the wrong guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who has more questions?
Oh, that's who I asked if he had more questions,
Okay.
but I must miscommunicated, Tom.
Okay, there's someone else on line 4 that picked up. Mike, what's going on with you, Mike?
Thanks, Tom.
Hi.
I called you last summer. This is in regards to my parents' property in Manitou. I sent you an image, a Google Earth image on live at Troubleshooter. Did you get that?
If we got it, Suzanne will get it and send it to me along with your call. But did you tell her that when she screened the call? Because she'll.
I did not. No,
All right.
I sent it after.
Suzanne, he sent a Google Earth image. And so what's in the subject line so she can look for that? And when did you send it?
This morning.
This morning, live at troubleshooter.com. Okay, talk about the issue. What is it?
Okay. So my parents have a commercial property in Manitou on Manitou Boulevard. The commercial property had 6 parking spaces in front. Next door is a restaurant. Across the street is a marijuana dispensary, and next door to them on the other side is a guy that rents his parking out at like $3,000 a month.
Now, when you say 6 spaces, do you mean in a little lot?
Like you pull off the boulevard and there's 6 spaces in front of the building.
In front, like parallel parking on a public street or a parking lot?
Angled parking, not parallel, because that would be.
But it's on a public street. It's not private property.
It is private property. The parking, the 6 spaces are private property.
Okay, go ahead. All
right, so the 6 spaces are dedicated to the commercial business, and they've been doing.
And who dedicated those? Is that the property owner that does that?
Yeah, my parents own the 6 parking spaces.
Okay, got you.
Their property.
Now I got it. Okay, so.
Okay, so the image will reflect that.
Well, she says she doesn't have it, but keep going. I don't need it right now. So there's 6 spaces owned in front of this business, and they own the business too. So then what?
Okay, so the city is putting in curb and gutter, and sidewalks, and burying the utilities, and in the process, they've taken 2 feet of my parents' property without permission, without any negotiation.
Who did this?
The city.
They had to go through eminent domain unless there was a setback. Many times on roads and different areas, even though they don't use it, there is a setback that is common use. And
they assumed it was theirs, and it turned out not to be. It's my parents. So they took 2 feet, which basically diminishes. They no longer have the 6 parking spaces. So it's detrimental to the business and detrimental to the property.
Well, they took 2 feet. Did your parents see them doing it?
Yes.
Why didn't they stop them?
They tried, but the city, they hired a contractor, and it's in limbo right now. It's not completed. So,
but they can't take private property.
Okay, well, they have, and that's the question. How do we determine the value? Because they want to turn it into parallel parking. The problem with that is my parents had 6 dedicated parking spots for the business. If it's converted to parallel parking, there's basically 2 city parking spaces there, and the consuming...
Wait, it's going to drop down from 6 spaces to 2?
Well, and those are parallel city parking spaces, not my parents.
I understand. So there used to be. What will happen with the area where your parents had 6 spaces?
Because they took 2 feet of it, it's not deep enough anymore, and the city will not allow vehicles to cross over the sidewalk and park there. Technically,
but the city created it. Manitou Springs is the city?
Yes.
I mean, I can't believe they're getting away with this. You have to hire an attorney and sue them. They should not have taken the property. It's that simple. I mean, determining a value, is one thing, but they should not have done it. They can't just do it. Do you understand? They can't just take private property without due process. Hold on a second, and we'll talk about it. This is like crazy that they would just take it from a business. They can't do it. They just can't do it. I don't know what else to say. Every day on this show, you have heard me battle with contractors and landscapers and people who have taken money and not done the work. Oh, my God, or they've done bad work. Every single day. That's why I love to represent businesses like Genesis Total Exteriors. For siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, kitchens, baths, basements, large and small additions. They're busy. You may have to wait. But wouldn't you rather wait than be ripped off? Genesis Total Exteriors. I know the owner personally. These people do quality work, and they're honest. 303-679-8509. 679-8509. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Golly. I wonder if when he calls loan simple, I wonder if the loan officer just mistakenly, they thought, oh, we sell everything to U.S. Bank, and that's what it's at.
Fix it 24/7. Yeah, somebody dropped the ball. I've seen that happen so many times, Brett.
Well, the problem too is that you don't really reconcile out your profit until you sell the servicing.
Yeah.
So certainly they had to, from a January loan. I mean, it might have taken a little bit of time to find out.
We need to get a hold of somebody high up that actually cares and wants to try to help them. Otherwise, they're just going to keep passing the buck. Oh yeah, we'll call you back. We'll we transfer you.
Doing the right thing there. You make your payments all the time.
That's right.
Make a copy of it. Even if they send you the check back, fine, whatever.
Pricing before work begins, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, and it's just $39. They'll treat your home as
we were at a mess like that one time, and I had to go through everybody in that department, and I'm not even exaggerating. I must have called over 80 times, and I was very persistent. I finally got a hold of one person that actually cared. That actually wasn't even her job. She got up, walked down the hall, got to a manager, got him on the phone, and we were able to help get solved.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
It's just
somebody who cares. Huh?
Yeah, finding somebody that actually cares. Places like that is really hard to find that.
Well, that's what we tell, because we'll transfer our servicing, and we tell everybody, hey, if you have a problem, just call us.
Yeah.
We'll tell you where to go and what to do, and 9 times out of 10, we can answer your question ourselves, rather than you calling an 800 number with Chase or Wells or whoever it gets transferred to in a pool and sitting on hold forever.
What would you do in a case like this, though? Well, you guys would.
I'd march into my CFO's office and go, who the hell owns this loan and who they need to make their payments to? That's what I do. We know, and that's why Loan Simple knows. They absolutely.
When we get up around 7, won't you hold some of those? I mean, at that point, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we want to do is we want to start the service.
Yeah, but it's all about the spread, though, Mark. Being around 7 is no different than being around 5.
What do you mean?
You mean 7% you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm saying why sell the loan at a certain point?
Why sell it at 5? I mean, it's all they don't make more spread when rates go up. They make the same spread.
But your servicing runoff can be less depending on what rates are doing. But you've also seen it like everybody thought servicing was going to be the greatest thing going in this period. I mean, we've been in low rates for 6 or 7 years, right? So everybody thought, oh, this is perfect because our portfolio is going to stay intact. No one's going to refinance. Well, what they didn't anticipate is all this equity build, and then people were refinancing to consolidate. So you got all this portfolio runoff. So now the latest slant is, okay, we're not going to have any portfolio runoff as rates rise because rates will continue to rise and people will stay in their current loan. Well, yeah, that works if that's what happens, but if rates dip, all of a sudden you'll see this huge runoff again. So
our rates are steadily going up.
Yeah, they are. Although they've held for the last, we saw that bump up, and then we've been pretty stable for the last 30 days, honestly. 4.5% on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So, right, conventional's right about 4.5%. FHA, depending on how great your credit is, you can get into the 4.25 range.
Wouldn't you take 7 right now and service it, do everything yourself? That's all I'm saying.
Get the help you need. Some help.
But do you make more money
when you make
servicing at 7 or at 5? Isn't it the spread that?
No, that's all market driven. So what you're saying, Mark, is, hey, if I can find somebody. No, you're right. So what you're saying is if I could find somebody that needed to borrow money and I could charge them 7% and service it myself,
could now,
that's great.
Yeah.
Then you could
do it. Because you have a bigger spread.
But you're not going to get somebody who could go institutionally and pay $4.5 to say, well, okay, you know, you're going to have to go find a guy that doesn't qualify, that doesn't meet guidelines, that doesn't have the credit.
We talked about doing that.
We talked about doing second mortgages for a while.
Or doing private placement mortgages with good, you know, there are some really good bets, good equity, good.
It's all the equities, though, on the matters.
Well, yes, it does. But if you have some crazy person, that matters too. You don't
Well,
want to
of course.
You know, you could end up embroiled in all kinds of shit.
No, for sure. By the way, the FHA loan limit in most counties is $529.
There was a guy.
No, not in El Paso.
There was a guy.
You're looking. No, I just pulled it up.
And I wouldn't do it. I referred him to somebody.
So yeah. So
I know somebody. So somebody did it. Somebody I knew, but they just did it. It wasn't even a friend. The newspaper and said I did it. And they wrote the story. And they did the story as if I'm
What's
doing
crazy
it.
is Eagles.
Because he said I was a secret investor. I had nothing to do with it. Can you imagine that somebody just saying something? It's so fucking amazing.
Well, here's the problem, though. Who cares if they're not making their payments?
Why? Because he's a veteran.
I got it right here. It's the whole story.
And then they make it sound like you're putting this guy out of his home.
For single family, actually, the average is 502.
That's why private loans are very risky, Mark. They're very risky. You truly have to
And
put
condos
people
are
out.
345 average, median 296.
Yeah, median and is 315.
Wow. Jeez. That's crazy. That's insane, actually.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. What do you do? What do you do with the loss of a parking space or two? You sue. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's not something that we call the city and say, don't do this. So I'm sure he was calling for advice. So, Mike, and I mean this sincerely, what were you hoping we would say? Because you have a clear-cut lawsuit.
Right. My concern is, since there's a restaurant next door that is high traffic, so they're going to be taking the parallel parking in front of my parents' house.
Of course.
And there's a dispensary.
Of course.
That is so busy that they spend $3,000 a month to rent the neighbor across the street.
But I can't believe there will be zero parking because they took 2 feet. You certainly can make them slant more or do something on that property. If you had 6 spaces and they took 2 feet, you still have room for something, don't you?
No, because it's not deep enough from the road. Plus, they will not allow the vehicles to cross over the sidewalk to park the way it used to be. They say that that's not permitted.
They have virtually then rendered 6 spaces unusable.
That's correct.
Well,
and they're saying that there'll be
I wouldn't go
2
down.
parallel parking spaces in front of the building.
But who
they're not
cares?
dedicated to the property.
Well, then who cares? You're getting nothing. You're getting nothing. Yeah. What kind of business is it?
It's a retail business.
What kind?
Like retail. Just actually got re-rented. The last tenants actually lost the lease because of the road being torn up and there's no parking there. They actually had to fold up shop, so they actually couldn't. It's been like this for a year. It's in limbo.
Is it like a gift shop or a touristy thing?
Yes.
You know,
but
I can't believe I can't believe they did it, and your parents didn't stop it with an injunction. So, listen, Mike, I'm often called when the die has been cast, when people have let things go too far, and then they say, "What can I do?" What you can do is fight like hell. They took their private property. The answer isn't, "Well, sorry." Because, you know, if you did something like that in your business, they would make you undo it.
How do you value it, I guess? The reason I was calling you is because you dealt in parking downtown Denver. You know the value of parking. How do you value the loss is what I'm asking.
You mean to go for damages?
Yes. How do you quantify that?
That would be something, well, we'd have to know the area and what it would, like, what's the alternative? What would they lose? What's the value? I mean, right now it's an unknown. I'd have to look at it. You have to take a similar business, okay, and basically, or do a square foot, and don't just figure the square feet they took, the square feet they left they rendered useless. Take business listings or values based on no parking and based on 6 or 7 spaces somewhere else, and then do the math. You know, it's your parents were the only one with their own parking.
Well, no, the restaurant had on the side of the restaurant, and then, like I said, the gentleman next door, he doesn't use it. He's 85 years old, so he leased it to the dispensary across the street, and the dispensary pays him like $3,000 a month for, like, say 10 to 15 parking spaces.
Have your parents ever thought about doing a not doing, but renting to a dispensary?
Well, that's a whole other story. They can't because there's a dispensary across the street, but they actually applied for one and paid $10,000 for the license, but then they said that the city said they couldn't because they were too close to school property, but then fast forward 5 years, they allowed the dispensary to exist across the street.
Man, it sounds like that city is jacked, man. That city is jacked up. Manitou Springs, what are they, a bunch of morons? It sounds like it. It really does. They sound a little corrupt to me.
I just was wondering if you knew, like, who would I seek to for, I guess, legal advice, or how to value the loss in Colorado Springs.
You need to find an attorney familiar with Colorado Springs law. Hey, you know, Mark, we know some attorneys in Colorado Springs because it's not far. You know, Manitou Springs. So we have some.
I bet Gene knows someone down there.
Or what about those other attorneys we used to, the brothers? They know a lot of people. The Rector brothers.
Rector.
I mean, you know, you just have to ask around. I mean, we don't know anyone personally, but you need an attorney. Make no mistake, Mike. Do not even think about not filing a lawsuit. These people have forced your hand. You know, and even though we're a city, yeah, they could go through eminent domain, but they didn't. They did not do it. And they basically rendered that retail useless. You guys have a suit, and unfortunately, you have to fight it. Otherwise, your rights are trampled. But I can't believe the city is not trying to do something other than.
They offered $45,000.
What's that?
They offered $45,000.
That's not going to help. That's a one-time payment.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, the parking will always be consumed by the other two businesses, and it's that bad.
If they take it, though, ultimately by eminent domain, I mean, it's going to be whatever the value of that property is. They're not going to get loss of business. They're not going to get anything like that. It's the property.
I know, but eminent domain goes a little farther, Mark. It does take into consideration loss.
My God, I lived through it. It has nothing to do with business losses.
Mark, at the time, Mark, it actually does, because I went through it too. It does.
It does not,
well,
Tom.
Then it didn't in your case, Mark.
There's no loss of business.
Well, it's not. It's taking it in its entirety. They don't just multiply a square footage by a certain price if it's rendering a business useless. Or if they're taking the business.
Then they'd have to take the whole thing. I'm saying there's no loss of income due to the business.
Hey, Tom.
It's going to be one amount.
Tom, I sent you the Google Earth link. It takes a second.
Any different, Mike, than get an aggressive attorney and go after the city. I mean, and Mark, it's not a small thing to do eminent domain either. It's not a small thing.
No, it's definitely not.
So don't assume they're just going to get it by eminent domain, because they don't automatically get it. We do have to take a quick break.
You know, when it came time for
I just emailed you a list of real estate attorneys in the Springs.
Travel across the metro area, your freeway system in pretty good shape. One exception on the.
There were all kinds of. I know an excavating company. They absolutely took into account the impact and the revenues. I don't know why you say
they don't pay any loss of business.
Mark,
Zero.
No, they don't.
If you have a 7-Eleven and they take the whole 7-Eleven, you don't get a fucking nickel for what that store would have made. Going forward,
you get more than you would if there wasn't a store there.
You get what the property value.
Okay, well then call it what you will, but that is a factor, because if it's not being used for something that is not making money, you get less than if it is making money. So why? Why do they do that? How do I get there?
It's loading, it's
okay.
loading.
It doesn't. I've
There's-
had it up
I
on
guess
mine
you
for
did
like
some
10 minutes.
clip, I got an email, you did some clip on Fox 31 with the Dan Rosen attorney. His people are reaching out saying, is there a way we get a copy of that clip? I just sent you the email. Dan is an attorney or something. Mark, I sent it to you, but I didn't really think you'd be too
I
helpful.
did it on Fox.
They said Fox 31, but she was, anyway, just check your email. Yeah, see, this just, after here, it just takes a minute to load, but then it comes right up.
Okay. I'll just wait.
Yeah, it's this right here, advertising video for clips. Yeah.
Or FrankDuranHomes.com.
Retirement can last 20, 30, or more years.
He's not on the referral list.
No, I've never heard of him.
I don't know why we would try to send him anything like that. You follow?
Yeah.
Confident your retirement savings will last throughout your retirement years? This is Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, heard every Saturday right here on 6.
It's whatever the property is worth. Now, they'll pay to move the business if you have to move equipment and stuff, but you just have no loss of revenue.
I'll answer them about the video.
Dreams. You worked hard and saved for your retirement. Now it's time to make sure you have
This is
income to last your lifetime.
I know, mine. I sat it forever, then my computer started locking up, so watch it.
And see how to get started with your own retirement.
These are a little old.
strategy, an income you won't outlive. Call right now, 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
So Frank, where's there a deal to be had right now? How much do we have to spend and where can we get a deal?
Buddy, I'll tell you what, one in about every 50 I'll get a short sale, and you might find a deal there. But the one I recently sold, this was up in, I think it was Arvada. We sold it for we put it at $199. Gee, or no, 189. Sold it for a little over $2. That was probably the best deal I've seen in a long time. But it was trash. It was really bad.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really bad shape. I went to list the home and it was like Sanford and Sons on the outside. And then he had all his friends down or something. They're all playing cards at the table. Hey, don't mind us. Just come on. It's okay.
That's hilarious.
Had a big old dog in there jumping on me.
Two aces.
Pile of cash in the middle of the table they're gambling for.
I mean, they had this huge dog, man. I couldn't believe it.
All money managers may see.
That's crazy. We keep seeing it again and again. What stuff is selling for is mind-blowing.
Yeah. I took 2 last night. One of them, literally, we had 30 offers. The other one, we had about 20-some offers. And both of them had sold like 35 grand over asking. And watch this. The 2 buyers that ended up winning on each property gave it an unlimited appraisal gap. So if it didn't appraise, they would cover whatever. So what's the seller going to say? No?
California?
No, they desperately want a home.
Well, that's what you'd be amazed at how, because we've got a bunch of buyers, and you'd be amazed at how motivated they get when they lose out on 3 or 4 properties.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're like, all right, so I'm
done
going
with
to pull money from here or here, and I'm willing
Right,
to
you know what I
bridge the
do
gap.
as part of negotiation though for my sellers is when I call the agents, one of the questions I ask is, do you know this lender well? Have you worked with us?
Yeah.
And they say, oh yeah, this is my lender for 10 years. That's great. If they say, well, no, it's the buyer's lender. How long have you been working with the buyer? Well, I just met him.
Yeah.
I tell my sellers, be careful.
Yeah,
Really.
You know, these, I was looking at these homes, they really have great.
Are you looking at the celebrity? I know, I'm on their website too. They're really nice houses. We went out and looked at the ones in Pradera several years ago, right after the downturn, and they were really, really cool homes. They built a really nice product. But again, we went to the same thing. I don't want to live all around there.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. We have Ideal Home Loans with us. We also have Frank Duran, the real estate man, serving Metro and North. And then we have Stephanie Thomas with, she does real estate with Red Bow Realty in Colorado Springs. Frank is with Remax Alliance. If you have real estate questions, give us a call. I can't get this Google Earth to come up. It's just not loading, no matter what I do. So I can't see it. But it doesn't matter. I mean, this guy is screwed. And I can't believe the gall of Manitou Springs to just go ahead and do it without any regard to it. And it's a problem, Mike. That's all I can tell you. And it's only going to be settled in a court of law. and then perhaps you can settle for more money than $45,000. But Shannon, what's going on with you, Shannon? Welcome.
Hi, I was on your show a couple of weeks ago about my vehicle being in an accident. It turns out they totaled my car.
And you weren't
the
sure what
driver.
they were going to do, and you wanted to know how you could be sure they're being fair.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
So I got a call from my insurance company. They totaled my vehicle. I'm showing that I don't have the official paperwork yet, which bothers me because my insurance company already sent me over all the power of attorney
This
paperwork.
is your car, your insurance company.
Yes.
Were you at fault?
No. I spoke with the other insurance company. They were supposed to get back to me within 5 business days. They wanted to go check out the vehicle as well.
So the other company is really it was the other party's fault?
Mhm.
And the other company is taking responsibility, but you're doing through your collision, right?
Yeah, the insurance recommended it because they're
Right.
obviously taking a long time.
Right, and then they said if
So-
they collect, they'll reimburse you your deductible.
Yes.
So how, so tell me about it. I mean, how much are they offering you? Are you satisfied or not?
Well, I'm just not sure if it's a good amount.
All right,
but
tell me about your car.
It's a 2014 Chevy Cruze, and I had $4,000 left on the loan. They're offering $11,605.70 for the vehicle, and then if they'll waive my deductible, and I'll get that back if they get the reimbursement from the other company.
So 11,605.70 does not include your deductible. That's how much you will get in a check.
Right.
And are they including sales tax in that?
I don't know. I don't know if
You would think they are, but
well, yeah, you need to ask about that. And have you checked with anyone? Like, how many miles on this?
It's last I checked, it was 44 or 45,000.
Okay. You need to check like with Purefoy Chevrolet, and
Okay.
just say, you know, and then I'll tell you who to talk to. We'll find out. Let's see, the used car guy that calls us all the time, the Screaming Deals. You need to find out what they could sell that for, and that's really what you need to collect. So
okay.
You would negotiate beyond that.
or try to find one similar that you can buy.
Right there. But if it doesn't come close, in fact, we can call right now. Let's get Purefoy on, Suzanne. Let's call the used car manager and run this by him. The 2014 Chevy Cruze, 44,000 miles. Did you have? Was it what kind of options did you have?
Included with the sale of the car?
No, like in your car, you power everything, power windows and stereo. I mean, is there anything you didn't have? Did you have GPS?
I don't think I had GPS, but I had Sirius XM included.
Yeah, but that's part of the radio. That's part of a service, not the.
Oh, okay.
But what I mean is, what did you have? Leather seats?
No.
Okay, so we need to know what trim model, but Suzanne will check. We'll get Purefoy Chevrolet on, and they'll give you an honest price on what that car can be purchased for. And that's what you have to fight for, and we can help you go through that process. Frank has a problem with a plumber. We will go to that. We'll also talk more real estate and lending coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-TALK. You can get your calls in, and I will get right to you.
Affordable Interest Mortgage has been your personal mortgage broker serving Coloradans since 2001. Pick aim.
Hey, Frank, do you ever have anybody buy a
disrespected
rental
and not listen to
with
a
the IRA?
mortgage, or do you feel like you just
A
talk to a
rental?
call
Yeah.
center and you never get the same
Not a
person?
rental,
Pick aim.
no.
720.
Because that's the only way you can buy it through your IRA. I mean, you use your IRA as an investment.
What you want. Experienced professional loan officers to
I don't know
expedite the
how
process
easy it
and
would
close
be
quickly.
to. Yeah.
For paperless applications, or we will do that. View your loan statements.
My kid's going to school at
and get
CSU.
rid of
If I
high-cost
buy,
mortgage
you
insurance
know,
or
have
credit
them
card debt
stay
that save
there.
hundreds now.
Where's the kid gonna buy it at CSU?
Yeah.
Many of our clients are saving thousands in excess mortgage payments, owning their home faster, all without changing
Much
their
cheaper than
payment
Boulder.
habits. Call now to start saving your money.
Oh, I can't believe Boulder. Wow.
Talk to the same loan
I don't sell a lot of Boulder, but I took it home, and this was like 7 years ago or something like that, or 5 years ago. And this townhome, which would have been Thornton would have sold for about at the time about 200,000 maybe. In Boulder, and this is a bunch of college kids that were renting the property. It was a mess in there. We sold it for almost 500 just because it was Boulder at that time. At that time, yeah. Couldn't believe it.
What's your property tax in Boulder?
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't even know exactly, but
It's like living in California.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
A trade dispute with the U.S., China announced plans for new 25% tariffs on $50 billion worth of U.S. exports, including aircraft and autos. But White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow is calling for calm.
Oh, they say they'll even, you can even use your own architect or pick one of their plans. They'll build from your plans.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yes, they actually do.
What's he doing on that?
He's trying. I think they got
And they will, what's good about that is they finance the construction.
Do you think?
And then you just bring firm financing at the end?
I think they're going to start.
Good.
Well, we say next election. His election or the 2 years?
Well, the other thing too is,
I think they'll get started.
you know, if they're financing the whole thing, they got the Sherry costs on it.
No more.
You get to the end of the whole thing, and for some reason it's like, hey, can't, won't,
What do you think,
don't.
Mark? Do you think he'll do it?
I miss him.
With the wall, Trump? Do you think he's going to be able to get that even?
Oh, get a wall going?
Yeah, before his next election.
Yeah. I think you will too.
I don't know how big of a wall's so weird because in some places, a lot of people have pointed out, I mean, you're not going to build a physical wall, you're going to have something to stop people.
Yeah.
Turret.
She told them she left home because of family issues and came north to find a job.
Well, yesterday he was ready to send the fucking Marines down to the border. Some of the shit he says is crazy.
Oh, did you see the one about the Space Force? We need a Space Force. I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Space Force.
Yeah. We need a Space Force, Trump. We need a Space Force. I'm like,
I said like the Jetsons.
See, this is sold out, and they say that they have only lots available. Excuse me, only homes available. They don't say lots. All the lots are sold. What does that mean? Are they selling the models or what?
it must be. I think they look like the models that were for sale when you got on their website.
What area are you talking about? Model. It's called Heritage Hills.
Oh, I can't pull it up.
No, yeah, so I've got it up. So it looks like there's one. So there's one on.
There's just 3 homes available.
1095 South Shadow Hill coming soon. Gorgeous custom home.
You mean 10,095?
Or yeah, 10,095 South Shadow Hill, and then there's one at 9466 Vista Hill.
They say that they're actually going to be for sale.
So this is what it says. So I linked on available homes,
Right.
and that's how I got to that.
Available home and model homes.
Discovered
Yep.
by 3 million businesses.
Gorgeous custom home. You're right. Price coming soon. That one.
Then the other one you've got.
But I don't know what that looks like.
No, 9466 says it's price, but in the disclaimer it says doesn't include. Pricing does not include lot premiums, elevation changes, and options.
Cash off.
Yeah, but they say this is just a plan, or is the actual home going to be for sale? That's what Frank needs.
Yeah, I'll call them directly, Tom. I just can't. I get no service.
No, you don't call them. And then just see if they work with.
Why did it drop?
Where's Qualcomm? That's awesome. You're getting service. I can't pull up my phone.
No.
Well, I've got it on my laptop.
They're the ones.
Who do you have for service on your phone?
Right.
Qualcomm was
Yeah, I've got
See,
AT&T.
they clearly say they're model homes, so I don't, but if they have no more lots available, they have to sell them. They have to sell
the models.
Cash offer.
Buy it furnished like you did your last one.
127.
Buy it furnished like you did the
Then
last
why
one.
is it down there?
Good deal.
Like I said, the only thing that's.
Oh, they do it.
Think about this. Think of how many headaches you save yourself in terms of arguments and shopping. I mean, it is infinite.
We loved it. I had just
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, it'd be.
and they had the best of everything.
Yeah.
And Lighthouse Work. You'll select your professional caregiver with visiting agents.
Have you been to Skippy's place that he redid over there?
No, he did redo it. Did he? But he did.
He bought one on the west side of the building and then redid it all. I haven't been in it either. I think he got it done right before, got it done after he went down to Florida. I haven't seen it, but
I don't like that building.
It's gonna turn out nice.
New members can win
Why don't you like it?
That building over there, I like the east one better. I don't know. The west has better views, but the building's newer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice building. It's not terrible.
Are you getting bites over there?
I'm not even trying. I don't have it listed at all. No. All we're doing is every now and then, if we know somebody looking, he'll mention it. That's it. I don't want it on the market.
Yeah, because there's bazillion showings.
What's that?
All the showings.
It's like, oh. No, and also time to market. I don't want it to have.
So when I was showing your unit, that guy, he's out of town now. I'm gonna have to tell you later. It was kind of funny. You had music playing.
Show. I need somebody. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, and this is the Troubleshooter Show. We are solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. We're talking about so much money here recovered for consumers over the last few years, and since we started here in Denver, the Troubleshooter Network has recovered more than $100 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Today we're talking real estate and finance. This hour brought to you by the Raleigh House. And we solve problems. One of the problems we're confronted with, we have addicts who call this show. We thought it would be a good idea to have the Raleigh House as a sponsor, and we asked them to do this, and we all agreed that they would have an information line that would do nothing but answer questions to people who have addicts in their life. Drug addiction is a serious thing. Alcohol addiction is a serious thing. Whether prescription drugs, illegal drugs, alcohol of any kind, 720-893-5559. You want to know about rehab? What is it? What is treatment? What is the recidivism rate? What is the, let's talk about the cost and insurance and free programs and what the Raleigh House does. It's a wonderful addiction treatment facility. You can call and ask any question you want. How do I know there's a problem? What do I look for? What are the signs? How do I approach them? 720-893-5559. No obligation, complimentary, and confidential. 720-893-5559. So we have Shannon who called and said, my car is being totaled, I think. What do I look for? And I said, well, wait until they make an offer of some kind. Call us back. Shannon has a Chevy, a 2014 Cruze. So I figured, let's call Purefoy Chevrolet. Often insurance companies offer a little low in case people try to goose them. And I thought Purefoy Chevrolet would have a good handle on what this car is worth. She is talking about a 2014 Chevy Cruze. Mike Wagenrose with Purefoy Chevrolet. Mike, are you in used cars, new cars, or both? How do they do that there?
Both. I'm actually a used car manager, but both deal with everything. So. Okay.
Now, Mike, a real out-the-door price for a 2014 Cruze, and it's got 44,000 miles on it. And she said you don't have leather seats. Is that right? Is there a certain package that you can identify for trim, Mike, that she would have? Like, do you have, like, you know how some models have XLs, DLs, SL, you know what I mean? Like are Cruzes pretty much equipped the same?
Yeah, I mean, there's LS, there's LTs,
okay.
There's ULTs.
Do you know what you have, Shannon?
I'm pretty sure it's an LT.
Okay. So what would a 2014 LT Chevy Cruze be worth out the door, 44,000 miles?
You're looking 11 to 12,000, somewhere around in there.
Okay. And that's exactly what they offered, 11,605. So here's the deal, though. They usually include sales tax on that. So because that's what they have to reimburse you for. So what tax area are you in?
Yeah, that'll be calculated where she's at.
What area are you in?
Aurora.
So if you're talking about
probably like 6-7%.
If we say 11,500, let's say that's between 11 and 12 times, and what percent? Do you know what your sales rate is in there? Your sales tax? You wouldn't happen to know, would you, Mike, from your sales? Just off.
I mean, just as far as 2.9 state tax, and then it's based on the address.
Right.
I mean, you're probably somewhere another 4.9, 5%, somewhere in there.
Another 4.9, you think? Or so it could be a total of 7 or 8%?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let's go times 7% or 7.5%, just for the heck of it, and then let's say, so you would have to add another $800 to $900 on there. So if you took 11,605, or actually it's 11,500 if we take his numbers, and because I mean it's between 11 and 12, so it could be 11,605. I'm just trying to be fair on both sides. And you added, let's say, 900, so we're talking about to be fair, about 12,400 total. You could probably be made whole. So you want to as close as you can get to 12,400, 12,500. That's what you want to try to do.
Okay, and to make sure the sales tax is included?
Yeah, that's what you want to, you say, look, you know, this price is not bad for the value of the car. I checked it out. But then what about sales taxes? That's a loss to me as well. And it's true. They will recognize that. Call us back, Shannon, again, if you need help, okay?
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, and of course, Purefoy Chevrolet, you can always call for a car up there, 303-659-8311. So, Frank, what is your problem with a plumber? What's going on, Frank?
Well, I have a problem with a plumber.
Yes, what is it?
I had a new single-endo shower valve installed.
A shower valve?
Yes.
Okay, what's the problem?
The problem is the price. They charged me $1,795.
Well, did they quote the price up front?
Well, I was out of town at the time, and somebody else was helping me.
Well, who was helping you? I mean, you didn't even ask about the price?
Well, I wasn't here, so...
No, but I understand, Frank. But was this an emergency?
No, not really.
Who called the plumber?
This fellow that helps me out when I'm out of town.
This fellow that helps you out took it upon himself to have a shower valve replaced without asking you?
No, I did tell him to get it replaced, but I didn't know the price.
Well, Frank.
Did he know the price, the guy that's helping you?
Well, what they quoted in was $1,300 to $1,500.
Then why was it $1,800?
Well, I don't know, but that's what he paid, and that's what I gave him. But the price is way out of line.
Well, but Frank, okay, so you would pay what they quoted, the $1,300. Did you say? What did they say? No, $1,500. You think the extra $300 is out of line? You were, I mean, it depends. I don't have any idea what kind it is. I don't have any idea how accessible it is. I don't have any idea what they told him. Now, if they quoted a top price of $1,500, why did they say it was $1,800? What's the reason?
I don't know. But that's what they had him paid, and he paid it, and I reimbursed him. And I would have never paid that.
Well, how do you know it was that? Did you see the invoice?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I have an invoice.
But, Frank, it's not fair. Serious. I got to be straight with you, man. Why do you think it's fair to order something knowing what the price... Now, obviously, I think if they quoted you and they went over the quote, then there's no question they should pay you back that money if they went over the quote. But they're not. But even $1,500 though. Why?
The problem is, I called 2 other plumbers, and what they would charge me will be $81 an hour plus parts.
You know what, though, Frank? It's hard. It's really hard to do that after you already had it done. You see, why didn't you do that then? Why didn't you call and compare first? You see, it's easy to sit there, and I'm not sticking up for anybody. I have no idea who this plumber is. But why would you sit there and say, well, if I called and they said they would have, they could have, but you should have done that beforehand. I mean, that's what I do. I call and get pricing, and I say, how much is this going to cost? How much is that going to cost? And then I compare it to others. Why wouldn't you do it?
Well, I wasn't here. That's why.
But Frank,
I was out of
okay,
town.
Frank,
Otherwise,
but you could have asked the guy to do it or wait till you got back. Who is this guy? I mean, why did this shower valve need to be replaced when it was replaced?
Well, actually, it didn't even need to be replaced. If I would have been here,
then why? Okay, then
I would have got a part from Kohler.
Okay, you know what? And I would have married a different person. You know what? When it came down to the mistake I made, but it didn't happen that way. So I can't do anything about it. That's the point. Frank, Mark, really, truly, what can we do?
It's just like used cars. People go buy it, they find out a week later they overpaid.
Now, I do want to get the extra $300 back. But Frank, what proof do you have that they quoted the $1,500?
Well, that's what he told me. I don't.
Did he get that in writing?
No.
Well, this guy didn't help you much, because if we call them and say you went $300 over, what's to prevent them from saying no, we didn't?
Right. But what I'm saying is the price is outrageous. I called several plumbers. I called another plumber.
Frank, the price could be outrageous, but you agreed to it. I agree with you, but you agreed to it. What are we supposed to do about it? God Almighty, don't you understand that? You agreed to it. He said the price is outrageous. You have no proof what you say they went $300 over the bid. This guy didn't even get the bid in writing. I would have said, damn it, I'm going to get other bids. Or at least I would have said, I want to see the $1,500 price. Frank, I want you to call them before we get involved, and you demand that they give you $300 back based on the initial bid, okay? And then then you get your friend to tell you who quoted that price. And then after you call, if they don't help you, we will call. And you know what? I didn't even ask the name. I have no idea who he's dealing with. I have no idea. But I know this happens all the time. All the time. People approve work. He wasn't even in town. He approves work based on his friend saying it'll be $1,500. It turns out to be $1,800. So how do you work with that? No, I don't like the pricing, but I have no idea what was involved. Let's try to get a copy of the invoice if we can. 303-713-8255. All right, let's talk. Alaramis Pro Auto Care is having a Pro Care clinic. I love talking about this because it's complimentary, it's free, it's educational, and Alaramis would love to have you to take care of your car like a car nanny. He would love to show you his shop, and this is a great way of doing it. You get something of value. You get to learn about what that engine light means. What if the car doesn't start? What's under the hood? Exactly what am I pointing at? Where is that air filter? What do I do with how do I change a tire? What else? What else, Al?
Tom, stuff like timing belts and timing chains, the 101 of things you need to know about your car. It's free to people. We really encourage young people to come with their parents, or if they want to come alone, because there's a lot of drivers that don't know a lot of stuff and safety, and how to jump a car, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. We give away tons of swag. It's not going to be a waste of time. We're going to feed you. We're doing it at 9 o'clock. It'll be over by 11, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a handful of spots left at the Denver store, and I've got some over at the Littleton store. We're doing 2 events. We've got one on the 14th here at Denver on Saturday, and then on the 21st, Saturday at the Littleton store. Give them some info, Tom, of how do they get a hold of it.
Okay, fine. All you do is call. It's April 14th in Denver. That's near Evans and I-25. You just go a little east on Evans and north on Dahlia, 1 block on the right. Or you go south of Bowles on Santa Fe at West Church Avenue, across from Arapahoe Community College. And all you have to do is call one number to sign up for this clinic. There is no charge, no obligation. It's 303-PRO-AUTO. It's that easy. 303-PRO-AUTO.
This report is brought to you by Firestone Complete Auto Care.
The Mile High City Highway Drive in pretty good shape as the lunch hour.
Buying outright, but making it into a rental.
Correct.
Okay, that's what. So, and you're asking if you can use IRA. Brent, have you heard of that? Buying with an IRA like that?
Using for investment property?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't. So, it's funny. So Craig Becker, who's in our office, is a CPA as well. We had a borrower who called the other day and said, I want to get some cash out of my rental to remodel it. The lady who lived there before passed away in it. The thing's trashed. I want to get it upgraded because I can have my rent. They called back and said, we're just going to borrow against our 401k. And Craig was like, whoa, wait a minute. First of all, if you borrow against your 401k, you can't write any of the interest off against the property under Schedule E. So that doesn't make any sense. Well, what about the fees? Well, you can write all the fees off too because it's expense for your rental. He said, and they're like, well, yeah, but we're paying ourselves the interest. He goes, yeah, but you're paying yourself the interest, but you're pulling money that's working for you in the market out to earn 4% on it or whatever you're going to charge yourself. And it doesn't make any sense. You'll out-earn it by keeping it performing in your asset account. So that was Craig's response from both.
But that wasn't that rental that he had was not into his 401k or IRA or anything.
No.
That was separate. He just wanted to borrow money from.
He wanted to borrow money against
right.
rather than borrowing against the property. He wanted to borrow against his 401k.
So say 300 grand that was in the IRA and buying an investment property. So instead of working the market, now it's working in property. And
can you do that?
I thought I heard so. Versus just you hear something.
I don't know.
I know you can't live in it. It's got to be total separate.
It's got to be an investment only.
Right.
Might be a good deal potentially.
Yeah, if you can do it.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it done like that. That doesn't mean it can't be done. I mean, it's just a question of, have you talked to your IRA people?
No. I'm just doing my own IRA, just through Schwab and stuff.
Gotcha.
Do it, but I mean, I can make it just so I can easily get rid of my stocks and transfer the money to it.
Yeah.
You know, just do it cash.
But you want to buy it outright, cash. You don't want to take out a loan.
Right. Because there would be no use because I couldn't write off the interest, or anything like that. Everything would be just, what you put into it.
What are the tax consequences? Like you sell it and you make 150 grand, you just roll it into your IRA tax free, and then you take it out as a.
Right.
And the other house, Eric Reineberg, the tax guy. See what the tax consequences would be.
Or even Mark.
I was shocked. Have you ever heard of someone taking their IRA money and buying an investment property like a rental?
You have to do it through an independent.
Yeah, you do it through like Pensco.
You can do it.
Even
better. You can't own the property. It has to be your IRA.
Your IRA owns it, correct?
Well, no, and it also has to be arm's length.
What was that? What is arm's length mean?
You can't be your own house, your own mortgage.
Well, absolutely.
Or your kids.
Or he'd be renting it from me.
Well, what would be wrong with this kid renting it?
I think that's not arm length.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. It's a little 303-713-TALK.
I got an email. It says, Tom, why didn't you mention that plumber? They're probably on your referral list. But they're not on our referral list. I'll tell you why I didn't name the plumber. He calls up and says, I was out of town, okay? I was out of town, and I had my shower valve replaced, okay? And the guy taking care of things for me approved it. He said they bid up to $1,500 it could cost. But they didn't give him anything in writing, and he can't prove that. And it turned out to be $1,795, $1,800. Is that outrageous? I don't know. What was the access? Was it an old, rusty, dingy thing? Did he have to sweat in new stuff? I mean, I have no idea. How much was it? What kind was it? Was it top of the line? Was it lousy? And why didn't I mention the company? I didn't even ask him because it didn't matter. And it has, I got the name, but they're not. Here's what's crazy. Yeah, they're high. It's high price. You will find some higher than that. You will find some lower than that. The point is, when these people give you a price, shop around. It's that easy. Shop around. I have no idea why this thing happens like this.
And remember, this is the guy that just, not that texted you, but the caller said he could have went to Home Depot or Lowe's and bought it for X amount. Well, of course, that's with anything. I can go buy an alternator somewhere and put it in my own car.
You can buy an outlet for $1.49, and you can put it in your house, and they will charge $239. And that's because it's the cost of doing business. It's running the truck. It's insurance. It's licensing. It's permits. I don't mean for that particular job or permit, but it's the overall cost of doing business aggregated. These people have to be in business. If you keep dealing with people out of the back, the trunk of their car, and something goes wrong, you'll be the one to call me and say my house burned down and the guy went bankrupt. I will tell you that if Plumline burned a house down, they would replace it. And they would still be in business because of their insurance and their financial stability. So, listen, no, I didn't give the name. And I don't, frankly, know what to do with Frank. I can't help Frank. I will help get that $300 extra back. Maybe Deputy Dan can call and say, why did you quote $1,400 and charge $1,800 or whatever it was? Why did you do that? But then they can't even prove that, so we'll hope that they admit it. So I hope Frank understands that. Frank, you do understand that, right?
Well, Tom, what the problem is that the price is way too high.
Frank, you said that a million times. You approved the price.
It should be around $500.
But you approved it. Why did you approve it? Why? Frank, come on, man. You sound like an intelligent man. You're right. It is too much. Now, I'm not saying it should be around 5
hours.
Frank, I am
5
not.
hours of labor.
Frank, I am not saying what price it should be, but I'm asking you a straight question. Why did you approve it? Are you a liar? Did you do it knowing you were going to complain?
I was out of town. I didn't approve it.
You said you approved it.
You told your other guy it was okay.
I was out of town. So, somebody that was helping me when I was.
Then why did he approve it? Get the money from him.
Well, I don't know why he approved it.
I misunderstood, Frank. I thought that he called you and said the guy said it would be between 12 and 1,500, and you said okay.
No.
So you assumed that's even worse, Frank. Did you give this guy permission to have it replaced?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that's even worse. That's even worse. You told him to replace it without even knowing what it was cost, assuming...
Either replace it or get a repair, one or the other.
But you said replace it or repair it without even knowing what it would cost. Just assuming what it would be. So you're lucky it wasn't. Correct. You're lucky it wasn't 3,000.
Did you even call the company though?
Yeah. Did you ask them to help you?
No.
Why don't you? Why don't you do that?
That's the first thing I do.
Do that first, and then let us know what they say.
Tell them exactly the same. Hey, I called around 3 other companies, $500-600. You guys charged me $1,800. Throw me a bone.
Right. I've never heard of this company. Plumbing Pros. Never heard of them.
Right.
And I'm not. And by the way, I didn't want to mention their name. I just mentioned it because I made a mistake. I'd never heard of them. So I don't want you to think they're bad people. I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of them, meaning we haven't had complaints about them.
I can tell you one thing. I've had plumbers work for me before, and I know prices. This time I didn't handle it, okay?
Okay.
If I would have handled it, this would have never happened.
Of course. I agree. Now I understand, Frank. I would have a stern talking to with that guy that was helping you out, and then I would call
with help like that.
I would call Plumbing Pros and ask them if they would make an adjustment. I would ask them that. 303-713-8255. Hey, I'm curious, Frank, or the other person here, Stephanie. I'm sorry, I'm having a senior moment. Have you ever had people complain about your commission? Seriously, have you ever asked them? Have they ever asked you?
Never had a complaint once we explain what we do.
Okay, has anyone ever asked you to give you a break?
Sure.
Yeah, have they, Stephanie?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Depending on the situation, I mean, if it depends on what you're doing for them. Some people, you know, they have a very easy thing. They have the buyer. They even have people who are interested already. Ideal Home Loans. Have you ever had people try to negotiate? Do they feel? I never asked this. Do people feel interest rates are negotiable?
You know,
do they ever say, "Hey, can you do it for a lift?"
Sometimes. You know, we ran into a situation last week where we had a gentleman who had a credit score that was a 699, and he'd been given pricing by somebody else as if it was a 740 credit score, and it was a difference of 0.3% in interest rate. So we run into that from time to time.
Where you can't match it because...
Well, no, we can. It's just the other group wasn't dealing with the fact of what his true credit score was. It was more they said, you know, oh, you've got good credit. Well, believe it or not, there's a big difference between a 699 credit score and a 740 credit score, and it has a huge impact on interest rate.
Really? So there's a difference of 40 points, basically.
Yeah, yeah. You're looking at it was a difference of interest rate between 4.375% and 4.65%.
So that's why when you talk about your credit tweaking, your optimization, that really does help.
It does. It helps a bunch.
And you said there were some times that you have cases in the past where you, and I don't know why, but the guy just had to pay something down by $40 and move and even out a balance, which is weird. Instead of having one empty and one full.
We had one recently. It was a $130 payment on a credit card balance that reduced them to that 50% threshold.
Are you kidding me?
And it made a 0.25% difference in their interest rate.
Can you believe that? And he would have never known that.
Yeah, never.
You said pay that $130 off. And see, that is why you need the credit optimization. It's not like, they write letters to and dispute, negative things like that's not what we mean. They don't do that. You have to have pretty reasonable credit to get approved. Then once you're approved, behind the scenes, they do this credit optimization. That's what I'm talking about.
And they can quick score too. If you tell them to pay it off, you guys can turn around and have that back.
We can get it rapid rescored right away with all 3 bureaus. That's what we do. So.
Okay. Of the real estate you handle, Frank, what percentage-wise? And by the way, I should mention this. We have lines wide open. You can get right through, and I'd rather you call 303-713-TALK. We have a lot of useful stuff to talk about. 303-713-8255. Whether you agree or disagree, you have a problem, or you just want to give an on-air review or sound off, 303-713-TALK. Frank, how many deals would you say of failed deals, not all around deals, of failed deal? Well, no, let's just say all around deals. How many go south because of credit?
Well, I haven't had one like that in a while. I'm going to say maybe 5%. I mean, because by the time we accept the offer, we've already done our research. We've talked to the lender.
Do you kind of pre-qualify people before you accept an offer?
We pre-screen them, so it's really, I haven't had one fall in a long time over something like that.
Stephanie, what about you?
Oh, absolutely.
You have them fall what percentage?
Oh, no, I haven't had any. I was agreeing with Frank. I absolutely do due diligence and contact lenders.
How do you do that without doing a credit check on somebody who submits an offer? How do you know? Because you could waste a lot of time on people who submit an offer. So how do you know they're not wasting your time?
Number one time, I talk to the lender, and when I talk to the agent, I'll ask him, hey, do you know this lender well? Have you worked with them for 10 years?
And can this guy borrow the money?
Sure, yeah. But I want to know the credibility of the lender. I want to know if this agent's worked with this lender for 10, 15 years, or if it's just some new lender working out of state this buyer just met.
So then another thing that's true, when you come with a pre-approval, not qualification, pre-approval for my deal, and you can make an offer, that's going to mean something.
Oh, and Ideal's the bomb, by the way. I mean, they are awesome. We work with them quite a bit, and we come
But with a pre-approval, it's like a cash deal.
Yeah, we have instant credibility with that seller, and we can sell that to them because some of these lenders we're competing with, some of them are out-of-state lenders.
So if you got, like you said, on one home, 30 offers, if you had an offer that says we are pre-approved for this amount, and we can close in 3 weeks or less,
that increases our credibility
immediately. Oh, my God,
right off the bat.
Jason, what's going on with you, Jason? What's happening?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, man. What's going on?
So I have an HOA in my neighborhood. It's a fairly new neighborhood.
Yeah?
And I chose not to put up any fencing.
Okay. Is it required?
It is not required.
All right, hold on, and we'll come right back to you, all right? And we'll talk about fencing in the neighborhood.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Oh shit, I just realized I got a crack. Or is that a mark? Wait. Well, this is a glass cover, but I noticed something deeper. Look at this. And I'm not talking about that. That's that plastic. But look like this, Mark, and see if you see a diagonal line. Do you see a diagonal line?
And Americans are getting better at paying off their debt.
Is that what is that? Is that like dirt?
Sure. No, that's good. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Protect it?
Yeah, you need a new case. I wonder how you did
You mean that new, I have that glass cover. That's a glass.
Hell of a fun. How did you do that?
I don't know. It's a glass cover.
Uh-oh, though. You do have a crack.
On the corner there. Yeah, it's a tiny little chip. Yeah. I'm going to have that glass cover replaced.
Is that the 8?
Yeah.
The X has the Gorilla Glass, so whenever you get that, it's a little.
What do you mean? The 10?
Or the 10? Yeah.
I didn't get the 10 because I heard it's not as good. Have they?
The Gorilla Glass.
But is the 10 better now? Is it?
I don't think it's worth the money difference, but I know it's got the Gorilla Glass.
I've got the 10. It's spearfishing. I don't think it's a whole lot better than my 7 was, honestly, but I have dropped it face down on like cobble, and it didn't break it. Yeah,
this did crack. Oh, I know why it cracked, because of this crack here. It went down this way.
What do you mean?
I have a little tiny chip in the
Yeah, the chip. Oh, I don't know if that's in the glass, is it?
No. This is on the plastic cover.
Yeah.
But did you see the one that goes this way?
No.
That's what I was talking about. If you look that way, you'll see a little tiny hairline.
You're insane.
No, it's there. You pick.
Holy shit, you're right.
I know.
Turn on the sun for a minute.
Turn on the sun.
Crash involving a couple of trucks there.
I think that, oh my God, look at that.
You can feel it with your
I think it's just in this though.
Right.
Oh, there it was. Turn that out one more time. Holy shit. Boy, you get the right light. It looks like
a major.
You know what? I think it's only on this cell. I don't think it's on the deal.
Yeah, I
because it doesn't go past.
But I
here.
think the one up in the corner is the case of the phone. Is
Welcome. Joe's got a question about reverse mortgage. Perhaps Ideal can answer. You don't do reverses, right? But you know,
is there no money in them? Why don't you do them?
No, it's a very specific process. It is a unique product, so it's something that we've never done as an organization.
Whatchamacall get out of it, Joan Sullivan?
No, I think she still does them. I hate to act like that. I mean, Joan had a very bad year.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't mean reverse mortgage-wise, just family-wise. It was a tough year.
She lost her sister.
She lost her sister.
And they were very close. Hey, Joe, what's going on?
Well, you know, you see a lot of advertisements for reverse mortgages.
Yes.
And I thought you had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Ideal was doing reverse mortgages.
No, I don't think I mentioned that.
Well, somebody you had on said they were doing them now. So,
Who the heck would have said that, I wonder? We don't have any other lenders.
Well, and what I was wanting to know is...
Now, we did have approval reverse mortgage that we endorsed, and they're good, and she's a good person, but she has pulled back a bit.
Yeah, I think Joan
she's still on the referral. Okay, she still is.
She is.
I'm sorry.
On the referral list.
I'm sorry. She is on the referral list. I'm sorry. She does reverse mortgages.
Is offering these things.
Henry Winkler sells them.
Yeah, you can trust Joan, though. Joan we've known for years and years and years.
What's the difference between AIG and Henry Winkler, or
they're all the same. But here's the deal: the only thing you have to be sure of is that they do it the right way, and that you get the right advice and the right counseling. But the rates are all pretty much going to be the same, and the conditions.
Call Joan. I mean, she'll steer you right.
That's why I'm saying you still want to deal with somebody that you can call for advice, and you can call when you want to get rid of it if you do. And Joan Sullivan, ApprovalReverse.com.
And they're on your referral list,
yes,
correct?
Suzanne, do you have the number there?
I sure do.
What is it?
303-771-3528.
What I love about her, too, is if it's not right for you for whatever reason,
she'll tell you.
She'll tell you.
Yeah. So she'll analyze your situation. Okay, Tony, what's going on, Tony?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Having issues with, I live in San Isabel National Forest, or on the boundary of the San Isabel National Forest. Been with Ameriprise for 5 years. Got notified that they were no longer going to renew our policy this year. And basically they lied to me when they told me this. They told me that it was because I have a detached garage that's over 600 square feet.
Why would they lie to you?
Well,
why not just say we don't want your business?
Well, exactly. I found out about the lie through just calling and talking to somebody that finally admitted the reason that they were no longer servicing loans in my area was because they claim it's a brush fire area.
No, you're not talking about loans. You're talking about insurance, right?
It's insurance, exactly.
Yeah. So because of brush fire, I can see that. So what's the difference? I don't know why they weren't just straight with you on that.
Well, that I don't know. But here's the problem I'm having. I called your
Compass.
I called Compass.
Man, if they can't do it, they got 25 different companies.
Exactly. I spoke with Nick, and he told me that everybody that they had talked with, the area that I'm in, I can't get insurance through them.
Well,
either.
that's crazy.
You might try Liberty Mutual, but it could be very expensive.
No, Liberty Mutual. I've called Farmers.
So what happens if someone can't get insurance, Brent? What happens? Do they get mortgage forced insurance?
Yeah, they're going to get forced placed insurance. That's the thing. So
and that's not for contents or anything.
No, and that's expensive. I mean, extremely expensive. Honestly, in all my years of doing this, I have not come across a situation where we could not get somebody homeowners insurance on a property.
So Compass said no, not just hi. They said nothing.
They said they couldn't get me insured.
Jeez.
Okay. They don't represent, what they're saying is they don't represent the underwriter. There's got to be an underwriter out there.
Do you have other stuff going on, like other claims in the past?
No, I've got 0 claims.
Have you talked to your neighbors? Okay, they have insurance.
I have talked to them, and everybody's in the same situation where we
oh, my
where we
goodness.
live.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's in Rye.
Rye?
Yeah.
R-Y-E?
Yeah, we're 35 miles southwest of Pueblo, up in the mountains.
Wow. This is crazy. What happens when you can't
the
get...
Lloyd's of London will insure me.
How much?
But it's $3,400 a year.
Oh, my.
And I was currently paying $1,100 a year with Ameriprise.
Who found that for you?
A broker out of Colorado City.
Wow.
So the reason I'm calling you today is because I never even envisioned Lloyd's of London, because you think you hear Lloyd's of London, you're thinking the legs of a Hollywood star.
Yeah, you're talking about the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Exactly. So is Lloyd's of London a decent insurance company?
It's a good underwriter. I mean, they're solid.
They write they insure insurance companies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
but
so I shouldn't have any kind of issue with insurance.
No, you won't have that, but my God, I can't believe there's no one in between.
The entire town he lives in, according to this, has 167 people in it.
Yeah, and the two streets that adjoin my house, everybody on those 2 streets have been receiving notices of non-renewal.
I wonder if he called in the fire department for the county and paid for mitigation if they would do something.
Well, here's the thing. I had the U.S. Forest Service come out 2 years ago from Canyon City, and they gave me a clean bill of health on my fire mitigation. There was nothing else that I needed to do to make it so that I didn't have any issues.
That's crazy.
So I asked the insurance companies, everyone that I've talked to, if I actually had a certificate from the U.S. Forest Service, would they then write me a policy? And they said, no, the underwriters won't touch anything in that zip code.
Well, you're screwed.
You are screwed.
My other question, though, is, Tom, is Dora able to help me with something like this? I mean, I've been with the company for 5 years, no claims.
You mean like making them cover you?
Well,
no, I don't think so.
I just think that it's wrong for an insurance company to collect premiums, year after year.
But they,
after year.
well, no, they covered you year after year. I mean, don't make it sound like you weren't covered.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But then at the first sign of maybe, they're
welcome to actuarials. Welcome to actuarials. I don't think in this case the Division of Insurance can have any jurisdiction. Now, if they were doing it because of a claim and it was unfair, they could do that with you individually. But if they're just not going to do an area, they can pull out of an area. Mike's got a comment on this. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Tom. I pay $4,400 a year on my home in Castle Rock.
Holy! Well, wait. But how much is your home, though?
It's probably worth about $428 now on Zillow.
That's a lot of money for that price range, guys. That sounds a little. Have you? Wait a minute. Who's your
Compass Insurance?
They said that was the best deal you could get.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
Acuity.
When was the last? No, Acuity's good, but they represent 25 companies. When was the last time they shopped you?
About a year ago.
Okay, well, you can trust them, I'll tell you that. But here's another thing. You know, just because Compass says it's the lowest price they can get, they represent 25 companies. There are companies they don't represent that could be lower. There were some cases, and they'll just admit that, where other companies could be cheaper. But hold on. Do you have any claim history?
Yeah, I had 2 lifts replaced in 15 and 16.
Okay, there you go. That's it right there. That's it right there.
We have to pay for everybody else's loss.
I know. Plus you have to pay for your own. Sucks, doesn't it? What's going on, Ken? Sorry for the wait. What's going on?
Well, Tom, first of all, the reason my call, I wanted to give accolades to both you and an attorney that you recommended.
I see it was David Salisbury, you said?
You got it. I met with David this morning. I put off meeting with him because I had some other things I had to take care of before. And I was listening to your show probably 2 months ago.
Yes.
And David was on talking, and the discussion was about wills. Well, I had some questions whether or not mine is really up to date, et cetera, et cetera. So I took it to David this morning. He reviewed it. And I was just literally totally amazed at his understanding of the law, his cordiality, his resourcefulness.
He's great.
His ability to help. And I wanted to at least thank you. And
good, I appreciate that.
Well, anyway, you're responsible. I wouldn't have heard of him otherwise.
Well,
so
thanks.
I'll pass that along to you.
You know, Ken, I really do appreciate feedback like that because we do put our heart and soul into that referral list for people, and I love it. Barbara, she has a kudo. Go ahead, Barbara. For who?
Joan Sullivan.
You used her.
Yes. In fact, we just closed on a reverse mortgage Monday.
Oh, that's so
and
good.
I want to tell you, she is very professional. Her personality is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
She's very knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
We learned things about reverse mortgages that we didn't know. And the whole process went very smoothly. I just can't say enough about her. She's really great.
Oh, she is. Thank you for telling us that. Approval Reverse Mortgage, and her website is approvalreverse.com. Her phone number for reverse mortgages, even if you don't know about one, she'll explain it to you, and she won't push you into it if it's not good for you. She'll send you over to Ideal. You know, if you don't need a reverse mortgage, she certainly doesn't recommend it. And it's ideal for certain situations, by the way. Approvalreverse.com, 303-771-3528. 303-771-3528. Okay, Jason, what's going on?
Okay, Tom. So my neighbors built these fences, which is fine. I didn't need a fence. But I just got a letter from my HOA. When they built the fence, they only painted their side of the fence.
And are they telling you have to paint it?
They're saying that it doesn't comply with HOA standards and I'll be fine.
But did you tell them it wasn't your fence?
I did, and they said I'm responsible for the maintenance of the fence that faces my house.
Oh, come on. Even though you didn't put it up.
Even though, and I don't even have like the wing fences or anything, so it's not closed in on my side or not.
Oh my goodness, it's just facing you, so they're going to require that you paint it.
So then you sue the neighbor who put it up.
I would do that. I would. That's a great idea, Mark. You will paint it and say, here's what it cost me, and I'm going after you because it's your fence and it's unconscionable. That's all, because there is no law that covers it, Jason, but certainly there is reason.
Well, I mean, we have these guidelines that you have to fill out when you build a fence.
Yeah.
And in my mind, they didn't build it according to the covenant in the first place.
Why is that?
Because it tells you the color you have to paint it. And if they only half painted it, then they didn't completely...
Did you use that argument with the HOA?
I did, and I mean, I have a hearing set.
It sounds to me like a little collusion. Wait a minute. It sounds, now, I don't often say this, but it does sound like a little collusion. Did they know this person on the HOA?
I have no idea.
Listen, Jason, I would have that hearing, and let us know what happens. But I would definitely do a small claims court against them. Richard, hang on. We'll come right back to you. 303-713-TALK. You guys can get right through, and we'll speed through these calls.
This report is brought to you by Firestone Complete.
Stock market?
Killing it. 650-point swing.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. You're right. It's only had just a few bad days, I think. Most of the time it's in the green. I mean,
It depends what time of the day you ask. It's insane.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what would really help the stock. Trump said he wasn't running again.
No, are you kidding? Oh my God! If a Democrat gets in, if they lose a House or the Senate, it's going to be horrible. Be real careful with stocks coming
What's
up.
funny is Obama got more done with the Republican Congress than he's getting done with the Republican Congress with his own party.
Oh, biggest tax cut ever.
He's just punching. He's just poking the bear. That's all he's doing. I can't wait to fly Frontier. I love how they load the planes. Don't you think, seriously though, when you get on a plane, don't you think they should board from the front back?
No, from the back front.
No.
They do it. That's the way they do it now, from the front back.
And that's the way they
And
should.
you have to wait for everyone to get their seat before you can even walk.
He wants to do it different.
From the back forward.
So when I get on the plane and put my luggage up as close as I can to the front and go to the back, he's saying that's no good.
No, that's terrible. I would say they should require the carry-ons to be over here.
Here's what I'll tell you. Braden and I, we flew Frontier down to Orlando for a cheerleading deal, and he was 7 at the time. He gets on the plane, he's like, Dad, what's with the tray? I'm like, what do you mean? You put that little thing down? I'm like, that's the tray, buddy. He's like, you can't put anything on there. I'm like, no, you have to pay for everything too, so, you know.
You want a tray?
Yeah, you want a tray, it costs you money. And it sucks because Frontier used to be one of the greatest airlines going, and now they're terrible.
We're the bottom.
Oh, it's horrible.
I'll fly to Vegas because they're so cheap.
Right.
And it's a quick flight.
But that plastic seat from here to Orlando, I got out of them, I couldn't even walk.
You can't go back.
Oh, yeah, I'm
You can't
like,
go back.
oh,
You're
my
like
back.
this. With the,
You're hobbling through the airport. So Brandon, that's the last time we're doing that. Mom's not booking travel anymore, buddy. We'll take care of ourselves.
yeah, 2-hour flight or less. It's
Yeah,
okay.
right, yeah.
I was on one of their flights, and there was an open seat. You know, planes getting ready to go. There was an open seat in one of the they wouldn't let it do it. I could understand if it was me or anybody in this room. But this dude was so big, you would think, oh, who cares? They didn't sell it. They're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
But no, man, that stewardess or whatever held to her guns and wouldn't do it.
One of the things we've been talking about in some of our ads is the fact that, hey, yeah, you can get pre-qualified in 10 minutes, but it's worth the paper it's written on. Go get pre-approved.
That's right.
I mean, we run into it all
Credibility means so
the
much.
time.
Out-of-state lenders will kill deals, man. You know, those are the ones that tell you, oh, we got a glitch.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Frank Duran, the real estate man. When he's not here, he's at 303-920-1622. Stephanie Thomas is at 719-687-2052. She's in the Springs. Frank is Metro North. And then Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. For your Ideal Home Loan is 303-867-7000. Hey, what's going on with you, Richard?
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Yeah, so I'm calling kudos for John Fuller.
What happened?
Well, I had a question regarding an insurance claim, and I just like the way he sounds, and I think he's an honest guy.
He is. He's a good guy.
He's a
great guy.
I couldn't be happier. If I ever needed a lawyer, he would be the first guy I would call.
You know what? That's cool. You didn't even have to use him. You just called him, got some answers, and you just like his way. And that's what I've tried to tell people, Richard. He's not some huckster. And, man, I can't stand some of these attorneys that
he fought his butt off for us. I tell you, he couldn't have got another nickel, though. He got policy limits for Suzanne and I.
Yeah. And that is what you want when it comes to somebody to fight for you. John Fuller, Fuller Law. His website is personalinjuryco.com. All right, so Frank, if you had to pick the biggest mistake people make when they list their home, now I know you try to stop them because you go in there and clean the house and do stuff. What would be one of the things they do wrong?
Well, overpricing. That's huge. Even in a market like this.
Even in a market like this.
Even in a market like this. If you miss the mark by a little, you can miss out on a good group of buyers.
Stephanie, what do you think?
Yeah, I've got to concur with Frank. Overpricing is horrible. You will sit on the market and ultimately end up doing price reduction after price reduction,
and
netting yourself way less.
And in a great market like this, if it sits, it looks even worse than before.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you had to pick mistakes for borrowers, do borrowers make mistakes really?
Well, for sure. Not, lay everything on the table. Tell us the whole story.
They try to hold something back. You find out.
You can't hide anything anymore. It will all come out at some point in time. And then the other thing, too, is don't charge up anything else on your credit cards during the home buying process or the refinance process, and don't go open any new debt. We have seen that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have to pull a trade line update 10 days before closing, and we have seen this blow things up.
Oh, really?
Times.
That is a good point.
What things do you, that first thing you said, what's a typical thing people forget to tell you?
Yeah, or leave out that you find out.
Issues with money moving around from account to account. We've got to verify and
like where the down payment's coming from.
All of that stuff. So we see that often. Hopping around on jobs. Well, I was here until this date. We're going to get a written verification of employment on everything, so we need exact dates. You can't have job gaps. That creates problems for us.
So what about, though, like when it comes to down payment money? Yeah. What if they just get it from their parents?
You can oftentimes get a gift. We just have to source that gift from their parents' account and show it coming into their account, and then get a gift letter from their parents. So it's just
they don't want an extra loan. They want a gift.
Yes, they want it to be a gift. It cannot be a loan, and we have to paper trail everything. So the days of, hey, I got 15 grand laying underneath my mattress, and here we go. That's a problem.
Really? So if you can't show, because there are, for example, marijuana dispensaries, and I knew a guy that ran one, and he would literally have money to put down in cash for a house. Would that be a problem?
That would be a problem. We've got to have it in a system. We've got to have it in an account. We've got to be able to verify it. So you can't just show up with cash.
Oh, wow. Even if someone wanted to pay cash for a house, well, you wouldn't be involved then if they paid cash. But a title company would be. Would there be a problem? Frank, did you ever have anybody that wanted to pay cash for real estate ever?
No one's showing up with $500,000 in cash.
Well, hold on. I'm asking if it ever has happened.
Not in recent memory, Tom. Not that I could think of.
Okay, what about a rental? 200 grand. Have you ever had anyone ask you that?
No, not recently that I could think of.
Stephanie?
I haven't personally, but one of my title companies, I was talking to the president, and he mentioned that somebody did bring an extremely large amount of money in cash. They actually had to go through the process of documenting each bill, and he said it was very, very strenuous and sketchy, so they don't do that.
I've heard that.
So they actually, he said that is not a policy that they will even really
allow.
allow.
Out a form?
No, I actually heard what she said. I don't remember where, but each serial number on each bill was written down.
Oh, that's crazy. Is that because of drug money or terrorism money or both?
Who knows?
Well, it's part of anti-money laundering. That's what they're really
I wonder
after. They're trying to follow the AML guidelines to make sure that, hey, we don't have some sort of illegal activity.
Have you ever had anyone with their portfolio when they try to, because you want to know their financial status, right? Not just income. Do you want to know bank accounts?
Yeah, we're going to need, depending on the product and the program, we're going to need reserves at times.
Okay, what if people have Bitcoins? Do you count those?
We have not come across Bitcoin as of yet.
Well, if they're in a portfolio, you'd have to count them.
All right, well, we're out of time, folks. Don't forget, please help yourself by using referrallist.com. Soon to come, a brand new site. You will love it, but you can use it now, too. Referrallist.com.
Now, if I can buy futures right now at Ameritrade.
Thanks for the plug, buddy. Appreciate that. You do a great job, too. We tell everybody.
I'm about
trust
to,
Frank.
Guys, I know you're all younger, so you don't have this problem, but I'm about to be beat up by children. I got to pick up my kids.
You'll love it. I can run.
Time to buy Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, for my RV and Bitcoin.
I had to run the kids this morning, and the twins missed the bus to the junior high, so I had to run them to school, and then I'm leaving. I just ran them down the bus. I'm like, I gotta go get the 8-year-old out of bed because he's gotta come with us.
Oh, stupid questions. I would check with that.
So I wake him up. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, poor
we
guy.
gotta drive your sister to school because they missed the bus. I'm sorry. Just hop in the car, buddy. Grab your stuff. Let's go. We'll come back. Yeah, we gotta roll. We don't have a choice, pal.
Gosh, count but you let me know. Okay.
You know, every summer you hear of someone that left their kid in the car. I'm not talking about the ones that died, but it